Legend tells of the phoenix, a mythical bird that burns. It symbolizes renewal, strength, and transformation. 1 year ago, Phoenix Gate Group was born with that same fiery spirit to inspire, connect, and empower professionals across the globe. And what a journey it's been. Under the visionary leadership of Dr. Vivian Magnus, our founder and lead coach, we didn't just take flight, we soared, we stumbled, we built, we believed. And today, through tears and triumph, we celebrate 1 year of relentless impact, meaningful milestones, and unimaginable transformation. From humble beginnings, Zoom links, voice notes, midnight strategy calls, we've grown into a powerhouse community with nearly 1,000 members strong. In just 12 months, we have reached over 40,000 professionals across the US, UK, Ghana, Nigeria, Uganda, and Kenya. Nearly 1,000 attendees joined us weekly on LinkedIn, and the world took notice. This year, Phoenix Gate was honored with the Social Impact Award of the Year and named the Most Impactful Community of the Year. Those trophies, they carry the fingerprints of every volunteer, every coach, every community member who chose to rise with us. But our story goes beyond resumes and recognition. Beyond professional development, Phoenix Gate has walked into the sacred space of business strategy with international and non-governmental organizations. We've led masterclasses, outreaches, boot camps, and visibility challenges that didn't just teach, they healed. And through it all, Dr. Magnus, our business development coach, stood at the center. A quiet force, a lighthouse in the storm. So now we ask you, are you struggling with your line visibility? Do you ever feel unseen while secretly dreaming of becoming a commanding influence, a recognized thought leader? Are you in that place between faith and fear, waiting for your breakthrough? At Phoenix Gate, we've already reached 40,000 professionals and business leaders worldwide. But this is not about numbers. It's about the transformation behind every name. We train you, we champion you, we give you a platform. And when you stand to speak, we make sure the world listens. As we mark this 1 year journey, we do it with full hearts. Gratitude overflows for our members, our partners, and every soul that carried us when we were too weary to walk. Phoenix Gate Group is not just a network. It is a living, breathing, purpose-driven community. It is hope. It is healing. It is home. And still, this is only the beginning. Here's to a future brighter than flames. We rise together. Legend tells of the phoenix, a mythical bird that burns. It symbolizes renewal, strength, and transformation. 1 year ago, Phoenix Gate Group was born with that same fiery spirit to inspire, connect, and empower professionals across the globe. And what a journey it's been. Under the visionary leadership of Dr. Vivian Magnus, our founder and lead coach, we didn't just take flight, we soared, we stumbled, we built, we believed. And today, through tears and triumph, we celebrate 1 year of relentless impact, meaningful milestones, and unimaginable transformation. From humble beginnings, Zoom links, voice notes, midnight strategy calls, we've grown into a powerhouse community with nearly 1,000 members strong. In just 12 months, we have reached over 40,000 professionals across the US, UK, Ghana, Nigeria, Uganda, and Kenya. Nearly 1,000 attendees joined us weekly on LinkedIn, and the world took notice. This year, Phoenix Gate was honored with the Social Impact Award of the Year and named the Most Impactful Community of the Year. Those trophies, they carry the fingerprints of every volunteer, every coach, every community member who chose to rise with us. But our story goes beyond resumes and recognition. Beyond professional development, Phoenix Gate has walked into the sacred space of business strategy with international and non-governmental organizations. We've led masterclasses, outreaches, boot camps, and visibility challenges that didn't just teach, they healed. And through it all, Dr. Magnus, our business development coach, stood at the center. A quiet force, a lighthouse in the storm. So now we ask you, Are you struggling with your line visibility? Do you ever feel unseen while secretly dreaming of becoming a commanding influence, a recognized thought leader? Are you in that place between faith and fear waiting for your breakthrough? At Phoenix Gate, we've already reached 40,000 professionals and business leaders worldwide. But this is not about numbers. It's about the transformation behind every name. We train you. We champion you. We give you a platform. And when you stand to speak, we make sure the world listens. As we mark this one-year journey, we do it with full hearts. Gratitude overflows for our members, our partners, and every soul that carried us when we were too weary to walk. Phoenix Gate Group is not just a network. It is a living, breathing, purpose-driven community. It is hope. It is healing. It is home. And still, this is only the beginning. Here's to a future brighter than flames. We rise together. Legend tells of the phoenix, a mythical bird that burns. It symbolizes renewal, strength, and transformation. 1 year ago, Phoenix Gate Group was born with that same fiery spirit to inspire, connect, and empower professionals across the globe. And what a journey it's been. Under the visionary leadership of Dr. Vivian Magnus, our founder and lead coach, we didn't just take flight, we soared, we stumbled, we built, we believed. And today, through tears and triumph, we celebrate 1 year of relentless impact, meaningful milestones, and unimaginable transformation. From humble beginnings, Zoom links, voice notes, midnight strategy calls, we've grown into a powerhouse community with nearly 1,000 members strong. In just 12 months, we have reached over 40,000 professionals across the US, UK, Ghana, Nigeria, Uganda, and Kenya. Nearly 1,000 attendees joined us weekly on LinkedIn, and the world took notice. This year, Phoenix Gate was honored with the Social Impact Award of the Year and named the most impactful community of the year. Those trophies, they carry the fingerprints of every volunteer, every coach, every community member who chose to rise with us. But our story goes beyond resumes and recognition. Beyond professional development, Phoenix Gate has walked into the sacred space of business strategy with international and non-governmental organizations. We've led masterclasses, outreaches, boot camps, and visibility challenges that didn't just teach, they healed. And through it all, Dr. Magnus, our business development coach, stood at the center. A quiet force, a lighthouse in the storm. So now we ask you, are you struggling with your line visibility? Do you ever feel unseen while secretly dreaming of becoming a commanding influence, a recognized thought leader? Are you in that place between faith and fear waiting for your breakthrough? At Phoenix Gate, we've already reached 40,000 professionals and business leaders worldwide. But this is not about numbers. It's about the transformation behind every name. We train you. We champion you. We give you a platform. And when you stand to speak, we make sure the world listens. As we mark this 1 year journey, we do it with full hearts. Gratitude overflows for our members, our partners, and every soul that carried us when we were too weary to walk. Phoenix Gate Group is not just a network. It is a living, breathing, purpose-driven community. It is hope. It is healing. It is home. And still, this is only the beginning. Here's to a future brighter than flames. We rise together. Legend tells of the phoenix, a mythical bird that burns. It symbolizes renewal, strength, and transformation. 1 year ago, Phoenix Gate Group was born with that same fiery spirit to inspire, connect, and empower professionals across the globe. And what a journey it's been. Under the visionary leadership of Dr. Vivian Magnus, our founder and lead coach, we didn't just take flight, we soared, we stumbled, we built, we believed. And today, through tears and triumph, we celebrate 1 year of relentless impact, meaningful milestones, and unimaginable transformation. From humble beginnings Zoom links, voice notes, midnight strategy calls. We've grown into a powerhouse community with nearly 1,000 members strong. In just 12 months, we have reached over 40,000 professionals across the US, UK, Ghana, Nigeria, Uganda, and Kenya. Nearly 1,000 attendees joined us weekly on LinkedIn, and the world took notice. This year, Phoenix Gate was honored with the Social Impact Award of the Year and named the most impactful community of the year. Those trophies, they carry the fingerprints of every volunteer, every coach, every community member who chose to rise with us. But our story goes beyond resumes and recognition. Beyond professional development, Phoenix Gate has walked into the sacred space of business strategy with international and non-governmental organizations. We've led masterclasses, outreaches, boot camps, and visibility challenges that didn't just teach, they healed. And through it all, Dr. Magnus, our business development coach, stood at the center. A quiet force, a lighthouse in the storm. So now we ask you, are you struggling with your line visibility? Do you ever feel unseen while secretly dreaming of becoming a commanding influence, a recognized thought leader? Are you in that place between faith and fear waiting for your breakthrough? At Phoenix Gate, we've already reached 40,000 professionals and business leaders worldwide. But this is not about numbers. It's about the transformation behind every name. We train you. We champion you. We give you a platform. And when you stand to speak, we make sure the world listens. As we mark this one-year journey, we do it with full hearts. Gratitude overflows for our members, our partners, and every soul that carried us when we were too weary to walk. Phoenix Gate Group is not just a network. It is a living, breathing, purpose-driven community. It is hope. It is healing. It is home. And still, this is only the beginning. Here's to a future brighter than flames. We rise. We rise together.
Hi, everyone. If you can see me crystal clear, kindly just type CC, right? If you can see me crystal clear, just type CC so that we can get to our conversations for tonight. If you're probably meeting me for the first time, I am your favorite mother eagle. So it's safe to say that the eagle has landed. It is safe to say that the eagle has landed. And today we are taking no prisoners. And part of my plans is that after this event ends, we'll make sure that nobody else has access to it because I will be spilling the tea. Okay, so you can see me type CC, that is later C, later C. Oh, amazing. I can see you all, and I'm super excited to be here as well. Okay, where are the rest of the boot campers? I told you guys it's going to be fire, so we best be working hard, right? Because I am literally going to dish without reservation. So let's have a lot of people coming as well. Our community managers, I want to thank you for the great job so far. You guys have been super amazing. Yes, super, super amazing. I don't know if I'm super clear. Let me see. Yes, okay. I think my light was a bit far. Okay, that's beautiful. So awesome. Type CT, you can hear me. Awesome. Okay. Absolutely. We are gatekeeping this for us. So if there's anyone who is supposed to be here, they better be, right? They better be. Oh, awesome. So we're going to start quickly for, if you were here yesterday, just say you were here yesterday. So here yesterday, let's just write HY, here yesterday, HY. So let's do that very fast so that we know where we are and then we know how the kind of people we're working with because we don't want to be talking off skit. So let's do that very quick so that we're able to tie. Somebody said, yesterday was a party. We don't want to do that today anyway because YouTube has its different rules as well. I was contemplating that, but yes, it has different rules. Let's go quickly, so that we are very fast. Here yesterday, okay, awesome. Awesome. So we literally almost have everyone. If you were here yesterday, just type here yesterday. And then if you're new here, just write new here. So end up NH. Let's go as fast as possible. We don't have as much time, right? I just want to spill as much so that we see how much we can help everyone. You can as well just start a few things. For those who will be joining us in the book club or the book camp, yes, of course, I have the long haul for you. But then I try to make sure that I say as many things as I can say so that as many that can pick up something can just quickly run with it, right? That's my own goal. That's my own prayer for you. Of course, I know that there's a place of partnership, a place of mentorship. I don't push that away at all. But then I said it over and over again. We can as well just learn as many things. Okay, so awesome. Now we're going to take another more. I'm going to ask another question. Of all the people who heard all they heard, have you started anything between yesterday and today? Did you at least maybe pen down the assignment we did yesterday? So quickly, let me know the people I'm working with. You guys know that I said it over and over again that I really don't like working with people who don't take action. Like I have PTSD. Every single time I had to do a boot camp, I'm serious. I don't know how to say it between God and man. Somebody already triggered it. So between Blossom's bootcamp and then yesterday when a lot of people jumped on board, I have literally had people joining the bootcamp. In fact, some of them are at the gate. I didn't allow them in yet because I didn't want to maybe put myself under pressure. But yes, I already have people who have bought the books into the book club, and I have also bought into the boot camp as well. So like I said, that means I'm already what's the word now, under pressure for it. Okay, awesome. So we already have one person doing something amazing. So I'm going into the comment section right now. Let me see the people I'm working with. Please, between yesterday and today, if you took one action, just one action, I just want to know. Yes. Okay, so let's go quickly. Just one action. Let's go. I've seen one scheduled a free awesome for Saturday on the 20th. Please look out for him. Oscar Onukuga. Onukuga. I hope I got this correctly. I'm so sorry. Right. He already has a scheduled meeting for 20th. So please look out for him on LinkedIn. Let's go. Next person. Who else has executed something? Quickly, let's go. Okay, someone else said I'm executing my third phase product even. Okay, so how do you plan to do that? Um LinkedIn restricted your account. I don't know. Between yesterday and today, um, please, as much as possible. Okay, I took action yesterday night and today. Please tell me what you've done quickly. Okay. I couldn't join yesterday because of the network. Oh, so sorry. Mercy. Please, can we be as fast in our conversations so that we move very, very fast? Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so Maisie Gatti said she already added screenshots to her portfolio. Beautiful. Oh, awesome. Okay, so yes, Josiah got a book. Awesome. This is a very good one. Okay, yes. So in the book we have tests and then we have also what's the name right now? We have tests and we also have empty spaces where you can quickly just fill. In fact, what I always admonish everyone doing is before you read the whole book, go to the end first of all. That's the last chapter. Read about what happened to us and how we failed and what were the things that we would have done differently. Then quickly answer the exam questions behind, then start reading. It's going to give you a whole lot of perspective. Now you're coming with questions when you're reading the entire book and you're going to be faster. I've had people who read the book in a day, people read it in 2 days and 3 days, and it made my interaction with them very easy. Okay, so that's awesome. Write out skills I can monetize. Lovely. So, Angela, I'm hoping that you're going to write out those skills. Let me see them. Okay. 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 Awesome. I get now. Beautiful. Beautiful for Brenda. Okay. I will host my first. Beautiful. That's very lovely. Is that not so early for your niche? You don't want to have any retreats for yourself. Third seems early, except you're going to do it in this December, but third seems early because a lot of people will still have the what's the name now? We still have the Christmas breakish thing. But except of course you have ways of fixing that as well. Maybe your niche is a spirituality niche or planning niche. That's lovely. Okay. Excellent. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Okay, so let's see quickly. Beautiful, gentle Sam. That is very, very beautiful. Awesome. 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 That's very, very beautiful. So I'm seeing a whole lot of things going on here. Okay, yes, okay. Awesome. Awesome. That's very beautiful. Okay, so please just keep dropping. As soon as you come in, just write because I noticed that a lot of us are coming in very late today. That's unlike yesterday. Okay, but I'll go straight into the conversations. Anybody that comes in anywhere, like I said, I'll try my best to lock up this as soon as this webinar ends because I don't like working with unserious people. That's what I always say. And the truth is, when I mean on serious, I understand that there are distractions everywhere. Okay, so it means that somebody might be having something really genuine doing somewhere. But if I've noticed every time that whenever I let people with such atmosphere come around me, it irritates me. That means okay, you're not ready to take some of the action that we want people to take, and then you're going to affect my results. And that's why I don't normally like that. In fact, for my boot camp, I'm also considering pre-qualifying almost everybody so that I don't bring people around me who would I'll be begging to do things. That is a very, very, very bad place to be. Okay. So like we said yesterday, if you want to make money, see, I've never seen a careless rich person except it was inherited, except you were a Nepo baby, right? Except it was inherited. And guess what? Even if it's inherited, you're still going to lose it if you are not hardworking. So I told you guys yesterday, in fact, I started making our conversations. I'm not sure I ended it, but money is currency. I'm going to say it again. Money is currency. That means it flows and it flows to the direction of your most predominant thoughts, or even, in fact, I can't even say your most predominant thoughts. I would say the most controlling energy. That means anybody who is willing to do things for exchange of money will have it. It's as simple as that. It doesn't care about your papa, okay? It doesn't care about your who you're married to, anyone. In fact, I've seen people who are married to certain wealthy people, but they are still broke. Broke in the sense that you still have to ask for money to do everything you want to do. And for me, geez, I don't think I wanted that for my life. So I'm going to look quickly and see how many people that have done something. Okay, someone said that she was able to optimize her profile. Awesome. Active in the DM. I love that. This is another excellent one. Okay, I made an aut- authentic post today. Beautiful. Okay, so that's lovely. I love your timing. It's just that the turnout, I'm worried because the third might be when people are probably still traveling in, people are still trying to enjoy um the break as well. Okay, so I have created free templates as well, but I need to learn about email marketing. Okay, that's beautiful. So let's go. Let's go quickly. Okay, health insurance advocacy. Okay. Okay, that's beautiful. That's a very tough niche, but that is beautiful, especially for Africans. Except you're not an African, that's is another big one. The only thing again about health insurance advocacy is that most times people eventually the I think the strongest insurance scheme in Nigeria is now the National Health Insurance Scheme. That's the one almost everyone uses, right? I don't even know how the other insurance institutions cope. So if you're doing insurance advocacy, you that's literally thought leadership for you. So it means you have to work very hard. And the beautiful thing about it is that once your head is off over the waters, that means once you've started becoming well known and people know you about it, you literally might just be the only one because a lot of people are lazy. Trust me. And that is where money is. Money is on the other side of discipline. That means it will always, let's say you have two things like this. You see laziness, you see discipline. Money will just jump over a lazy person to a disciplined person. So I'll say more of all that today. Like I said, get your writing materials where necessary. We are going to be learning a lot tonight. Awesome. Let me just look through. I just want to make sure that on the same page with all of you. Awesome. Yes, money flows in the direction of the most controlling energy. Okay, so beautiful. Someone has been able to change your content style. Like I said again, based on your niche, your content style should respond to your niche. It should not just be anything carelessly done, right? Or I just want to be authentic, I want to be human. No. Most times your content style should also respond to the people you're serving as much as possible. There are some niches, and when you are being authentic, right? Always try to find stories that you have won at. Yes, when I was 5, I was this. I struggle with this. Don't end with don't share stories where you're still struggling to the end and you're telling people, well, that's how it is. Sometimes some things you just struggle a lot around money. I just have that problem. Just have this gambling problem and I cannot do anything about it. So, what's your thought on this conversation? Then tomorrow, you want to say that you want to train people for money when you have gambling issues. You've already shot yourself on the foot in the sense that you have broken trust. So, I've told you guys from yesterday's class. Let me go right in. I'll try to be fast because I have a very short time. But then I would want all of us to assimilate as possible. Please, if you're in a place where you're distracted, you might want to save yourself from those places. So, like I said again, I was trying to hold down a conversation. So, know, like, and trust. That's the one that everybody preaches everywhere. But most times people stop at know and like. And it's true because you find out that a lot of people love you, they are jumping around you. In fact, some of them, when you have offers, they're the ones who will post your offers everywhere, but they will not be in those classes. It's the last one that is usually the problem. If your trust index is not high, people will likely not buy from you. So it means that, okay, I have led you through the path of knowing what I do. I can teach effectively in it. And then oh, geez, I like this girl. Let me quickly just share the flyer. And your flyer, your face is everywhere. People are saying that you're viral. And in the end of it, you probably, when you do a total impression of everybody who saw the post and people who reacted, you probably can get up to like 30,000 impressions when you copy all the back end of all your friends who probably shared it for you. So you can imagine, and 30,000 people saw the offer, and maybe just 5 or 10 people. 5 or 10 people, if it's your first time, it's a total victory. But if you're a well known voice on LinkedIn and you check your back end and you don't really have much people in, it's just simple. The people either, of course, might not have money on ground, that's number one, but most of the time, it's the second, right? They probably don't trust you enough to receive that transformation you're about to give them. And that is why your positioning is very important. So, in all your authenticity, this is just me answering the first person who posted. Make sure that you don't overshare, right? You don't overshare. Oversharing means, in this case, it's not even just talking about vulnerable things that have happened to you. Oversharing is just simply um bringing out weaknesses in the area, in quotes, you said you solve problems at. Okay, so I worked with a client the other day, and then let's say, let me just give an example. Somebody comes in and say, I worked with a client the other day, and then the next thing I just realized about was that I made a grossly mistake, and the person lost $100 million or 100 million naira, and now I'm just so confused. Anyway, I've learned. I've decided that I'm going to move on. So I'm going to be, then let's say people will just sympathize with you. They cry, da. Then the next day, you now come and put up a post. Oh, I've worked with several clients, and tomorrow I want to help business owners to do this, do that. If anybody who is sensitive, who has been following your post, sees that post, the person will be like, okay, so somebody lost 100 million naira. And you've not even learned from it. You don't even have the victory side. You don't even have a hero story. Now you also want to bring other people to teach them the same thing. So I'm just saying this now because I noticed that a lot of people can take authenticity and run in a different direction. Please, especially in the side of your offering, if you don't have any proper lesson or any value to share from your experience, it's best you keep it to yourself. Okay, so we've been able to do all that today. Okay, so Nikita said, I made a vulnerable post today since my dad turned 69. Okay, awesome. That's very beautiful. That's very beautiful. So the post was not essentially related to what you do online, but then it will help people connect with you more. Beautiful. But I said authenticity in the sense of oversharing failures in the line of what you do can hurt your ability to what's the word, transact, because most times you people will not want to work with somebody who has failed at something except they have a hero story. That means you talk about failure, 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 then you get to the end and suddenly is a win, and then you share your lessons. Now people want to work with you because they can relate to your failures, and now they can also relate, they want to also relate with your wins. Okay, so that's beautiful. Awesome. Okay, awesome. So that's beautiful. Let's go quickly. I'll try and be as fast. Oh, okay, beautiful. I love that. I love that. So that means this post is for connections, being able to open up yourself, because there will definitely be other people who might be grieving at one point or who might have lost someone. So it makes sense that you now find out that most of the responses on that post will be so authentic. Thank you so much for that as well. So yes, so you need to position to build trust for conversion. Yes. So that means, and when I'm saying this, right, it means that you're behind the scene. Data collections of your behind the scenes should be top notch. You're working with somebody, you are paying attention to the first time the person spoke to you, take a screenshot, keep it somewhere. While you're working with the person, conversations that the person gave, take a screenshot, keep it somewhere. Then the outcome of that conversations, I mean, when the person eventually thanks you and tell you, oh, this was the most beautiful thing ever, you take a screenshot to keep it somewhere. That is called trust index lineage. That's your trust index lineage. That means it's going up. People can literally see the pattern of maybe somebody who started, and most times when they come to you in your DM, that's for people who clients look for, right? That means people who are very fortunate to have their clients coming to their DMs. That's people also who probably would have grown their reach to a certain level, and most times growing reach with value. So that's why even yesterday I kept emphasizing it, right? Except you sit on value as a person, it's going to be hard for people to come into your DM and they're talking about specific things. So your conversations on your posts should stimulate conversations into the DM. So by the time the person is coming straight into your DM, the person already has a pain point. So hold that thought, pain points. I just want us to probably go straight. So we go from um the person's pain point. That is whatever he told you. Take a screenshot, your exchange of conversations to the point of when you were done. Take a screenshot. So now that means everybody you're working with, you're anticipating results. You want to make sure, because you now know that you are accountable to how what's the word? How the journey goes. How the journey goes. You are now very accountable to it. So you preserve it because you know you will win for the person. That is where another major trust index builds. Okay, so I'm going to be going straight. So we said we'll not be talking much about no and like. In the book, we already have those conversations. If you want to grow your reach on LinkedIn, don't do the desperacy kind of reach. Of course, we're in the boot camp, so yes, it's possible for people to support you. But I told you, don't stick with podding system. Those are the things we spoke about yesterday. You just have to put your brain to task. Don't Yes, you can have people who you've already connected with today, but make sure that as you're relating with them, have collaborations. For that person who is having a live event on the 20th, I'll admonish you not to do it alone. Find somebody who is in this camp or a group of people who are in this camp and just tell them, guys, this is my vision about this meeting. Can we all work together to put this out? Take on rehearsals and step out. This is me now. This one that I told you, it's a paid for idea. So all of you that are here, you are going to pay me. You are going to pay me straight. I don't, in fact, some of the ideas I'm going to be talking about tonight, even some of the people who were part of my paid bootcamp will just be opening their mouths. But like I said, within the short time that I have, I will try to make sure that I answer some of the questions as well. I have my slides, like I said, and I promised, but most times I always like my events very tailored. Okay. Awesome. So Nikita gave us so sharing failures. Okay. Sharing failures at what you do would hurt you unless, yes, awesome, beautiful. Make sure you don't overshare. Oversharing means bringing things that you are okay. Bringing things that you are a strong, okay. Okay, yes. So I think I understand there's a little typo there, but make sure you don't overshare. And oversharing actually means that it will come strongly against the fact that you said you're a solver. Beautiful. Okay. And make story against it. Okay. I think there's a typo there, but no problem. I know that we're all excited. So okay, destroy. Yes, awesome. So oversharing will destroy your authority big time. Beautiful. So, like I'll say it again, find the areas where you have won and stick to it as much as possible. The only thing that it will take from you is finding ways you can share that same story, starting it from the half, from the middle of it, from behind of it, from the center of it. But you need meditation. God, you can't be lazy and think. That's just it. You can't. And guys, while you're at home, you're at work, just sit down and just reminisce over your minds. Just come across things and you keep thinking, okay, how can I do this better? How can I do this better? That is what that's one of the best things that can happen to you. Well, we get to that slides now. Let me just go through to the last person who has commented and then we go straight to our conversations for tonight. Ma, your past of not sharing action. Of course, you are of not taking action is that you are already here. If you posted, that is an action. But make sure that even if you share a story about your past of not taking action, but saying that you have shown up now and you're willing to take the journey or something, just share about a very big win and maybe a big win that happened between when you didn't take action and you took action. Then you can draw conclusion that you see why that you know that a lot of people who probably will be reading this are still stuck in inertia. Inertia is a physics term or an English term though, but there's a law of inertia that is a physics law which states that something will continue to be at rest until uh, and what would I call it, an external force or stimuli acts on it. So it means that okay, you could have been the same way you've been until something acted on it. And in this case, it was your mind. You decided that you were going to start your journey. If you had friends who helped you on your journey or people whom you've met in the group, you can tag them to thank them. And then you can now share your stories or you can share a timeline of things you hope to achieve in the next 1 year. But there must be a lesson. Don't just share vulnerability posts and then your employer or somebody who would have brought you on the team will say, so this person has this problem, then this person will not be able to do this for me. Okay, so awesome. So let me see quickly. So if you have any questions, even from yesterday's event, quickly just ask. I will go very fast. Data collection of your behind the scenes. Keep screenshots from day one. Beautiful. Build a trust index lineage. I've said it again. Because you know you will win for the person, you start your documentation super early. Super early. Yes, preserve your behind the scene data. Beautiful. So for you might want to snap when you started your planning for your event, when you spoke to other people. Yes, awesome. Awesome. So failure. You can talk about how you failed. That is what we call the hook. You can talk about how you failed at the beginning of your conversation, and everybody's like, "Yeah, so it's not only me." And then by the time they rush in to read, they now start seeing where you started making your choices, when you started making your changes to some of the lessons you learned and then what you hope that you're going to be doing for any clients, knowing fully well that you know their experiences. That is exactly what your story should be like as somebody who wants conversion. Okay, so somebody say thank you. Okay, awesome, thank you so much. Okay, yes, so Oscar is saying thank you for the meet. Please go ahead, partner with people so that their own community will also come with your community. Make sure you don't partner with lazy people as much as it's within your power. Sorry, excuse me. Like I said it every single time, a lot of people are just lazy and they don't want to come out of where they are. For me, I have a very strong distaste. I like, okay, if I'm putting in energy into something, I should have the equal and opposite reaction. It hurts me a lot when go out of my way to stretch for people and they don't swing into action. It's a painful place to be. And trust me, until you start conversion, right? Once you start making money on LinkedIn, you understand that anytime you partner with somebody who is weak in expression, that means they want to sit, they're the ones they call, they deceive themselves. Like, there are certain phases of your growth that you don't have a magnetic presence yet. And at that point, you have to do a whole lot of work. You see some people say things like, come, let me train your magnetic presence, and you come and the person is just doing serere. And sorry guys, serere in Nigeria just means the person is just doing very slow and is just doing aesthetics for you. Of course, aesthetics is also part of money. So you don't want to know how much are the lights that are currently on this place, how much is the studio, this studio, how much it took me to literally come out here. Like, um I have, like I told you guys, I have children that I'm also with, who are also on break. I had to cut off some of our playtime just to show up here. So every time you see people pushing towards a direction, there's a sacrifice there. So standing out, being magnetic is not just, oh, I'm going to just change my conversation and start writing my posts like this, and fake it till you make it, and you think you're going to do well by that. Please don't do that. You see that right now, Oscar, at the end of your event, you will sweat, and it's a very good sweat. A very good sweat, because you will never be the same person who hosted an event by the next time you're going to host it, by the next time you're going to host it again and again and again and again. So for me, I'm saying it again, hard work. Just get comfortable with it. Somebody, I think I listened to it again. I found a video that said something. He said, in fact, my pastor then, before I got married, always used to make terms like this. He always said things like, um, life punishes the life punishes the timid and rewards the brave. Yes, that's the word. Life punishes, like punishes the timid and rewards the brave. So except you step out and even come out online, like most people, if you didn't come to this, what do they call it? This meeting this night. Let me tell you one thing that would have happened to you. You'd have hosted that event. You probably will not even do all the back runs that are supposed to do it, happen on it. Then you just show up there. Then there are 3 people on live, or 2 people on live, or 1 person on live, on the live session, and after the meeting you just feel discouraged and you walk away. That is also punishment. And timidity is in reservation. It means that all the things that you were supposed to do to have an event that will stand out, you didn't make the sacrifice for it. So don't say, that's how it is. Oh, in fact, this LinkedIn, we don't understand it. No, you understand it. And talking, I think someone called it then, when we used to be in church, Christianese. Talking like you have authority is not authority, because authority is essentially the bag of scars, your sleepless nights, sometimes the eye bags, sometimes the time it took you to probably meditate, to read, to buy courses where necessary. So authority is not faked. So for the people who say fake it till you make it, well, good job. But let me tell you the truth. Every time you have opportunities to hold conversations, see, even your mind will leave you. That's why some of you will shake. And like I said, if you start shaking for the first time, there's no problem. This is the best time to shake. Just write it somewhere, right? This is the best time to shake as a young person who is probably growing your reach or your authority on any platform, and also middle-aged person or in your 70s. This is your best time to shake. So the most important thing again is it, or essentially the summary of my conversation is, just start. Okay, so let me just look from where I stopped, and then once I'm done here, we will just go on. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, everybody. I love you as well. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, beautiful. Okay, don't stick to the pudding system. Yes, beautiful. Okay, so somebody is already available, so you might want to reach out to them. Yes, awesome. So for me, I'm very big on meditations. Don't do things mindlessly like a cow. Don't just show up for the slaughter. Make sure you sit on an idea long enough to distill ideas specific for you. Okay, okay, okay. I'm a first and leadership um niche as a coach. When you mean by faith, what does that mean? Are you a pastor? Just give me straight up conversations. I'm a spiritual person, so I love conversations around that. Beautiful. Beautiful. But the problem with transit time is documentation. Except you're very close to your phone notes, make sure. Okay, awesome. So my first life failed badly. I was so nervous about showing up again. Now that is very beautiful. So please, as much as possible, please don't stop behaving, guys, like you're a shepherd without like a sheep without a shepherd. That's the word I wanted to say. Make sure you get appropriate help. That's how you stand out. I talked about it yesterday in quotes, right? I'll tell me the 50 cent effect, in the sense that you just meet the appropriate people who are already willing in different directions and collaborate with them and don't be a thief. If you need to put down money, if you need to join their boot camps, join them, but make sure that you have somebody who has at least gone through what you're doing to collaborate with you on something. Don't be like a thief. That's the word. Because I noticed that a lot of people, they like stealing, they like free things. You don't even know the life you came to. If you're a free person, gone, everything is freemium for you. Most times I do free because I try to lower the barrier so that I help people. Because most of the things I do is basically, of course, aside from helping you start your community, starting your business, write well, choose an avatar that easily explains what you're called to do. I also just want to elevate minds. So that's why most times my entry points. But please don't stay at the entry point gates. I saw a lot of people who joined the boot camp already, and I saw a lot of people who joined the book club. Very good. We've signed up to something that we can do for a long haul. Definitely, we'll find ways to work with you, both in teams, and if you're working very hard, definitely there's most of the times some of the people who have been part of my boot camps or book clubs, we literally make calls. I make calls with you when I see that you're very energetic and you just want to push. I jump on calls. Sometimes I influence, sometimes I even put myself on their flyers and all that, just so that we know that okay, whatever is coming to this place. For me, you guys saw the intro video. The intro video was clear. We trained at some point. When we started, we did rehearsal to midnight and cross media. Somebody even reminded me that we've done rehearsal to 2 a.m. before, right? So, but it's people who have energy, people who are willing to learn. You can't work with people who feel like they're already satisfied with the peanuts that they have. And that's why I told them, even in Blossom's bootcamp, that there's no amount of money that you handle that you think you are all that. If you really understand the concept money is that there is no faith. That's why Elon Musk is still going harder, because the concept money is about having the power to transact at any time t. And I told you the only way you can stand out in life is by transaction. So avoid even just saying, okay, you're trying to play smart, like every single time you just want to leverage on one free thing or the other. Yes, it's going to help you. It's going to help you. But if you don't have that mind for transaction, you even lose some of the amazing people God has sent your way simply because of selfishness. And I told you guys, money and selfishness are like this. That's why some of you are literally even broke. You rather eat. It's the in fact, God was telling me strongly about the Esau generation. Like a lot of people would rather eat their seeds and die. The Shunammite woman and all that, the stories in the Bible. Some people would rather eat what will maybe help their 2026 stand out and rather be broke. And they'll keep saying it's our country, it's Tinubu this, Tinubu that. Please, that's it for. Okay, sorry, President Tinubu. That's for the president of my country. I love my country a lot. So I just was using that as an example. Okay. Let me go quickly. Once I'm done with the comment section, we will just start holding conversations very fast. This is the best time to shake. Beautiful. Just start. Best time to shake. Thank you so much. Beautiful. How do we choose our first collaboration partners from this community? And insight. Okay. And insight. And okay. Okay, beautiful. So that's beautiful. We're actually in the same niche, so no problem. We can also talk as regards that. Thanks for this knowledge. Beautiful. Okay. Awesome. That's very beautiful. So we already seen that people are already making those changes. Beautiful. Awesome. So I'll go through with my conversation. Hey, Jenny, good to see you. You ran away from LinkedIn. Where have you been? 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 So I told you guys most of the time, right? If you don't know what um if you have not specified, if you've not written down, if you've not jotted down, if you've not held conversations with yourself from your inner why, this is me probably reiterating some of the things that we said yesterday, you will easily give up. And I've told you guys, this is not the generation not to build for visibility. The only problem we're having is a lot of people tell people, oh yeah, let's do this, let's do this, let's do that, and people are just jumping around empty headed. When people read their posts, they don't get stimulated to work with them. You see your first month on LinkedIn, second month, third month, 6 months. By 6 months, you're already everywhere. People are celebrating you. But you just, after a while, you notice that you'll be funding even your data. It's going to be coming from your pockets or from your parents, especially Gen Zs. They're the ones who are making the whole matter even worse because somehow somebody is funding that madness and they have not sat down to ask questions. So your father sends you pocket money, you quickly buy data, and every day you're posting and you're talking about some things that are unrelated, or you are lying overtly. I've seen people like that. When they lie, I'm like, Jesus. Because if you lie, you still find yourself in some people's DMs and you're begging for money. Why? Why? Why should you? So we're saying this now. And most times you won't stay for the longest if you don't understand that deep sense of why and how you should build from your avatar. In fact, that is the first chapter of the book. I took you guys through my own personal story and how visibility is not enough, right? How visibility is not enough. In fact, the best kind of visibility you should have is really visibility from the sense of monetization. And monetization, let me neutralize your minds, everyone. Monetization is not money. Money is the end result of monetization. So, but it means building with value at hand. Visibility from the sense of monetization is building with value at hand. You are here for transaction. If there are things you need to pay for, you pay for, you get in quick. If there are boot camps you need to pay for, get in quick. Move to the next one. Training yourself consistently. If there are partnership or memberships you need to join, you join. You're building yourself consistently. You don't have a money problem. Essentially, you don't have an exchange problem because most people have monies in their accounts, but they are rotting. Like even the way they show up, you just be watching them because. And the thing is, it's not even about money alone. Let me even explain this thing to you guys. Sometimes, if you don't have the mindset for exchange, you will not take it seriously. This is exactly what I mean. Now, there are 37 people on this live, despite 360 people who stayed in camp. And trust me, if they had paid for this camp, they'll show up here. That's why it's very free things. Free things should not. There's how free things are. I don't know how to explain. It's a psychology, a whole lot of psychology. I've done a boot camp for 30 days. Like I thought like this every day for 30 days with people that didn't pay me a dime. And I can say it again. When I put a price on my boot camp, people will have results. When I don't, they will show up when they want to. They will say, oh, I'm going to follow a rewatch. All those deceptions. And that is why you must price your value. I said it again. Any value that is not monetizable is not a value at all. That means you post and your mind that day is that you want to dish out value that is convertible. If people have never paid you for what you do, you are not yet monetized yet, and you are not yet valuable. I'm so sorry to say it. You can argue with your what's the word now, keypads or whatever it is you're typing with your phone or whatever it is, but you have to hear this now so that you can start shifting. And trust me, if you don't get it what you do, you're soon going to get tired, and then you find other things to go and do. But trust me, people's lives can be transformed. In fact, just this evening I shared it on my WhatsApp status. I wish I could share it here as well, but I don't think the comment section for YouTube accepts this. And this is my setup, this is my laptop setup, so it's going to take me a whole lot to send. Somebody just told me he has been traveling around the world simply because he joined our challenge. So it's nothing other than what did you call it, posting for value. And guess what? Even when he was in the boot camp with me, some of the times I used to force him to post because he was a lecturer. But guess what? Those value and the low impressions he had. Of course, see, there are some niches that should not be saying I don't care about the likes. I'm holding my ear and I'm warning you guys, because most times when people say they don't care about likes, when I say I don't care about likes and comments or numbers, it's not the same with yours. Some of you are just very lazy. It's not the same with you. So if you know your niche requires maybe your a LinkedIn, whatever, you're building for LinkedIn, you know that you have answers to people on LinkedIn. So you have to take your reach seriously. And taking reach seriously is not coding system. Okay, so let me make sure that I'm sharing everything as fast as I can. Taking your niche seriously is not budding system, it's sacrifice. You're gonna have a particular posting time. For people who said I didn't talk about it yesterday, yes, that's because I always start from value. But you must have a particular posting time. You must honor the people who post on your posts, at least stay to say hello to them, hold conversations, have sweet conversations, sweet words that you let them in on. Let them know how you sound, what your conversations are like, your avatar, your name. Of course, we're going to get to that as well. Let's see how far we're going to go this night. Please, if we don't go as far tonight, make sure that you're in the book club. Usually, the book club, we take 2 very long sessions where we literally break down everything. We finish the whole book as a club, and then we put you on assignment. Like I told you guys, the essential way to read the book is that you start from behind, answer, read where I my story, how what happened to Phoenix Gate when we didn't monetize, how that you'll be able to meet millionaires and billionaires. And because you don't, if you don't have a value and something you can offer them, in fact, for those people who are having their life on the 20th, if you don't have a product of exchange, you might want to store that life until you have something to give people, whether it's free or not. You must have a lead magnet. Don't host any life without a lead magnet. Just write it somewhere. Okay. So back to my conversations again. Let me look quickly into the comment section so that I'm not going just one way. Then let's see where our conversations has been so far. So I said, please make sure that you're willing to have that exchange. So yes, those people who are in the book club, who joined the book club, we did the book club low ticket so that nobody will say that because they don't have money, that's why they are not there. It's just 5,000 naira. Just get in. Anything I'm going to train you for, trust me, it will not be anything that you cannot afford, especially in this season. So like I said again, we're going to try to stretch. We'll finish the book together. That's what we did we do in the book club. Every time we have new sets of people come in, we host events. So if I get up to like 100 people join, we will just host immediately on Saturday so that we don't waste time all on Sunday. Sunday is better because a lot of us are likely going to be freer. Okay, so awesome. um Okay, let's show them what we've got. Okay, move, beautiful. So let's be going as well. Okay, so you're already having a partner. Nikita, someone, just one more is here. Okay, oh, beautiful. So, guys, I'm loving this already. Visibility is not enough. Have money. Okay, awesome. Awesome, awesome. That's very beautiful. So that means everybody is following. So if you've been following me so far, write following. I'm following. Let's just write FL. FL. Awesome. Jadisola, how will I forget you? How will I forget you? I don't forget people like that. Yes, my Esther, how are you doing? Good to see you tonight. When you do this for free, people show up. Beautiful. Very true. So you can hear that a lot of people are doing that already. Thank you so much, Mama. I appreciate you. She's our professor, Roxana. Please, you can also check her channel. She's doing amazing here and even on LinkedIn. Yes. Awesome. Okay, awesome. So please, community managers, please take note of her and quickly send her the WhatsApp group. Okay, beautiful. So take your reach seriously. Don't be a lazy person. And for people who are looking for collaborations, sincerely, if you're looking for collaborations and you're the one that they'll be dragged, I don't know you. That's all I can say. Just for once of a negative word, right? I don't know you because that's wickedness. You collaborate with people and you just want to leech on their audience. That is wickedness going um somewhere to happen. Always plan to outgive. Outgive. Okay, awesome, 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 awesome. And I want to, okay, how do I brand this? Okay, so beautiful. Just stay in for the class today. We're going to go through to that point because that's one of the major things we're going to be doing today. Okay, awesome. So we have video with value at hand. Very beautiful. So we have a question now from Adire Princess. Okay, who is hoping to teach teenage courses? That means she's an artistic person. Okay, just give me a niche of what you want to teach teenagers. Let's see how I can go as fast. Okay, so let me how much time do we have left? Okay, so if you can see my slide, kindly just tell me you can see my slide. So I'll go straight to where we stopped yesterday. So I told you guys, if you think that you're too timid, hmm, life punishes the timid. God, life will punish you. Even your best friends, they will join hand. Even your pastors, for some of you who are spiritual, and your friends, your if some of you who are married, your husband will join. Everybody, life punishes the timid. Life punishes the timid. If there's anything you're going to remember today, just put it somewhere. Any day you are not stepping out and you want to leverage in the name of positioning, in the name of you just want to wait for where you see a moving train and you just want to hang there because you think you are wise. In Nigeria, it's called you think say you day wise. Life will punish you. You've not seen anything yet. It will only take to a point where the person will start disliking you. And I've had a conversation where someone said something about a friend, and the person's somehow something came up. We're trying to make an excuse for that. My friend, another friend of hers came and said, "This one, if it's her, forget it. It's a lie. She cannot. There's no way this girl did not know this thing. She's trying to play sense." Now you can imagine the conversations are holding in her mind. She might be thinking that, oh, she's a smart one, she has moved on. But guess what? If she hopes to collaborate on any conversations again or anything that is profitable, she'll be the last person that they will call. Last person, because of course, except most people are not comfortable with takers. You just come. The only person you should take from effortlessly without flinching your eye is God, and that's your place of prayers. Of course, that's what will even make you stand out. That's what will make you have audacity. That means you're one with your soul. Like you hold conversations with the author of life. It's going to be easier for you to handle any other person. Every other person seek to give, seek to out, give again. Like I said it again, someone with half your IQ is making 10 times as much as you because they are not smart enough to doubt themselves. So those what do you call it, those life events, you're gonna step out again, but this time not as a foolish person, not as a timid person, as a well-planned person with proper rehearsals. Don't go and put yourself in a place where you now start doubting yourself. And we're saying doubting yourself, most people who doubt themselves are people who don't have structure. Even some of the little things they are learning, they are not serious enough to sit down and get to work. So, like I said again, you will get to work. I don't know the kind of energy that is coming from my soul. I'm all the conversations I'm holding tonight. I'm just annoyed because literally there is nothing that is tough. You just need to sit down and get it done. That's it. Just sit down and get it done. Okay. So, like I said again, you'll be smelling if you're the one who is always taking. It's called Dead Sea because what? Everything it takes in, it doesn't give out. After a while, people will run away from you. And I said it over and over again in my last camp again. People who give out are likely going to be more refined. You might be feeling like you were used, right? In fact, like I said, some people who are here will still be planning not to get join the book club or join the boot camp, and you're feeling like you're smart. No, you're not. Because these same conversations I held conversation in that meeting that I came for. That is Blossoms Bootcamp. Let me even show you guys some of the gifts that I got. I got this amazing gift. I just got it today. She doesn't even know that I've gotten it because I was so busy preparing for this event. I mean, a whole box, and she got my color, my favorite color. But you know, one thing that came with that meeting as well. Another thing that came with that meeting is a trip to Dubai next year. So if you think you're being smart and oh, you don't want to, life rewards the brave. So if you're not seeing results yet, you're not taking as much actions as you should. Please wake up. Life is not that hard, right? And then of course, it's not hard because of course there are people who probably have won in a particular direction with guidance and mentorship. It makes it a whole lot of easier for you. So how did I know? When I showed up on LinkedIn, my first ever event, I had 600 people turn up, like register for the event. On the event day, I think we're past almost 200 at some point. My first ever event. So you would think that when I came to LinkedIn was when I decided I was going to win. No, it was a mindset that I had always had. So all those plannings I did. I will not wait to come and say, okay, my first ever event. Then I will now say, oh my goodness, I don't know what to do. Then you have come there, you're speaking to one person, two persons, because you don't have a wisdom to curate that energy. Like I'm saying it now, I'm not putting pressure on anyone, but I'm saying that you can actually get all the help you need, even in your whatever you're trying to do first. Okay, so we've done that to yourself, nothing is tough, just sit out and get it done. Life rewards the brave. Very, very beautiful. So we've gotten past the mindset. So I have these are my results. I had a lot of people who got international jobs, and then also somebody after the first post, we had everyone to write the bootcamp post. Literally, she landed 3 jobs immediately. Then I had a graphic designer who also landed an international job role. And it's simple, value. This what like the first time I started charging for my bootcamp, because of course I came from a spiritual background, and I won't lie about it. I won't hide it, right? I came from a spiritual background. So I have never taken money to be the main what's the word? Main means of exchange. I know that there are other sources of exchange, but as of the time I first priced my bootcamp, she was the one who showed me. She was a part of my bootcamp, and she made she charged the client. I think she wrote it here. She charged a client 6 figures. Her first ever client on LinkedIn was 6 figures. And then, of course, when we went on, we had so many other testimonies. Right now, in fact, she just was awarded something in her community. She was one of the people we met. We had a little meet out on or in Abuja. In fact, Mommy Show more if she's here, she probably will also um talk about that conversation. Mommy Show also went on to be um what's the word? Also went on to get an appointment as well. So, but I'm just trying to tell you, building intentionally would make you position yourself in such a way that people who are super excellent can navigate or find their ways to associate with you. You guys saw Professor Roxana earlier. She's a mathematics professor all the way from the US, but somehow she has always supported me. And it's simple. If you take yourself a little more seriously and you meditate, take out time to document, right? If you have some addictions and all any challenge that has been taking you away from stretching personally, replace them. The way humans were wired, you cannot just take out something and leave it empty. Never. So spiritually, of course, having the indwelling of the Holy Ghost, but physically is that you need to develop other habits that will replace any form of habits. If you're habitually lazy, you're habitually lazy, you always want people to give you things, you can easily beg. Thank God I'm on this thing is holding on YouTube. Beggy. So in fact, it's on TikTok. Sometimes I get gripped in my chest. Sometimes you see it on Instagram as well. You see somebody on a celebrity's comments, and these same people are the ones that will be insulting those celebrities when they get into trouble. Next thing you just see, I'm sorry to be ashamed, sir. I'm just begging for my. Can you borrow me? They will even give you tell you the amount that you should send to them, and send you account number quickly and say, God bless you, sir. Then some people will even be dragging you at some point that you don't give or you don't give. I mean, like, do you know the energy of taking, like, as a human being, once you take out your growth process, that's your ability to wire yourself to come up with ideations to actually solve problems, you have become weakened. And most of those celebrities, instead of them to probably help them pay for courses or collaborate with other communities to run campaign programs to educate people, they will just be sending money mindlessly. And most of those people, because they are made it a livelihood, they now beg for a living. And every time you beg without, in fact, begging in itself is very wrong. There's something is called, every time you beg, right, you literally, it's a short circuit. You eliminate your brain. You just eliminate your brain. So why don't you instead work with people? Okay, I'm starting out, and you see somebody saying, I want to sew, and I don't have sewing machine. Hey, oh, GB. Sorry guys, if your papa Jasco Kronas, you know that word, right? You want to sew and you don't have a sewing machine. Who told you that it is when you have a sewing machine that you become a fashion designer? Who even told you that lie? Do you know, at the age of 8, it's not even something to brag about. I made my first dress 8 years old. Like, my mom has always been into textile. I told you guys I'm a business person. I sat down at home one day. Everybody went home, and I just decided, and I made it with needle and thread. And if some of the things I know now I knew then, my mom would have carried me on national TV. Everybody would say this is how she make dress. Then you now start seeing things like people will say, oh, this girl just made a dress. An 8 year, can you believe an 8-year-old just made a dress? Before you know it, maybe one governor will just announce, oh, we want to sponsor her trip to this. We want to. That is how good things come to you. I'm not saying that that was what happened to me, but I'm saying that every time you step out with the little you have, you're likely going to find help. So somebody who is on someone's comment section saying that, oh, they don't have sewing machine, you are just nothing but a cow. And guess what? They will send you that money, they will still send you that money and you will eat it, because the money does not help the mind. You have to already become a problem solver. When money meets value, it multiplies. Now let me tell you what I would have done if I was someone who is very interested in fashion designing and I don't have a means. Like I will start sewing with needle and thread. I will sew with needle and thread. In fact, that will be what will be on my page. If I would get to a point where I see, okay, they are doing a giveaway and they are saying pitch your business, I will say, this is the story of how I started. Up to today, I can still say that I have not gotten a sewing machine, but I was able to afford threads. I was able to afford needle, and these are the 3, 4, 5 clothes, 10 clothes are made from needle and threads. Yes, I have worn them. You wear your fashion, wear it. So now, by the time money meets you in codes that you probably have been hanging it around. So that's what normally happens to people. They say things like, oh, I don't have money for that boot camp, and they stay there. I don't have money for the book club, but you don't know that, okay, you find yourself negotiating. Okay, ma'am, I have 1,000. Is it possible that I could just put it with you because I'm likely going to spend it? See, there are people who, when they hear certain things about what you can do. I'm already teaching you guys a law of negotiation. When you want to negotiate with anybody, make sure that you are already coming with something. So, like I said, I'm not saying that anybody should go and start begging on those artists. In fact, I feel sorry for them. I also feel sorry for their family members who will see those comments under those places. But I'm still saying again that you can actually switch it off. So, whatever you can do now, at least show the emotion. Show the emotion. Most of the things and opportunities that are going to come to you are going to come to you on your way there. On your way there. So every time I'm just waiting, let me have the light, let me have the studio. Before I will start, just start from where you are. See, there are some videos that are currently even on this my channel that I've muted. I'll still mute more channels, more videos. As I get better, I'll mute more videos. That's just a thing. It's simple. Now that I know that there are certain things I'm supposed to learn, I will keep stepping out. That's the best place to be. Money will meet you on your way, right? On your way to your action. In fact, some people might not even, it might just be only the post. But who are you to determine how your own, what's the word? Your own victory should come. The most important thing is consistently make sacrifice. Consistently make sacrifice. Of course, if you should be a better person of faith because you're a human being, you didn't come to this world by chance. If you're an atheist, I don't know. God will help you. Oh. That's all I can tell you because there are many things that are supernaturally driven. Many things. In fact, like that particular guy that eventually is traveling the whole world from our boot camp has always been somebody who I knew was a person of prayer. So I can't even separate that result from the fact that he prayed and stepped out. For some of us, we pray so much that we don't step out. That's where the problem is. Or some of us, we step out so much that we just say, ah, I just want to help myself. There's no concept God. That's also where the problem is. So I'm going to look into our conversations to make sure that we are all in the same place. If you've been getting our conversations so far, just say I'm here. Just say that I'm here. Awesome. 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 Okay, awesome. Beautiful. Somebody said be intentional or go home. That's very beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Please drop your details here so that after the events they can come back and check. Develop other habits. Oh, yes, also awesome. So once you're already having challenges in terms of habits, right? Some people it might be masturbations and all that. Replace it. Some of those things are not in keeping with money. If you're single, celibacy has a lot of energy around it. Don't be messing yourself up. There's a lot of inconsistency with it. I'm not hiding mouth. That's why I said I didn't want some of these events to be the um on the mainstream because I'm going to give it raw the way it is. Okay. So somebody said it's the beggy beggy for me. Okay, awesome. So that means we're all here. Awesome. Once you take out your growth capacity, you weaken yourself. Beautiful. And before you know it, you beg. And the more you beg, that mental, you see that most people that beg a lot, even when they show up and they are giving the mic, another extreme is the worst people that they beg, then they have amnesia. They want to come and still prove that they are boss, even with their beggy self. I've seen a horrible set of people like that too. So we cannot actually just say people who are uh, not confident beg a lot, but please don't change yourself. Hmm? Once you take out your growth process, you have become weakened. Beautiful. Okay, beautiful. Anytime. Yes. You eliminate your brain. Yes, because you don't want to solve the problems. You don't want to solve the problems. And for me, one of the things I realized is that discipline, right, makes you prepare for things. So you see somebody who is whose wife, like whose wife is 9 months. Like I said, there are people who genuinely, maybe other things came and cramped on their finances just before delivery. That is understandable. But you see some people, they are not doing anything and they don't plan to do anything. They will get their wives pregnant, and even on the ninth month they will still not pay. They will not have delivery fees to pay for. Some men will even run away from in the hospital and leave their wives there and find a way to disappear because they don't have money. Please, right, we are planners here. That's why I told you, if you meditate, you will know that there are certain things that should not meet you hanging. Of course, there are seasons in your life where things can jam, but it better be that you can tell a story of how, despite making all your plans, things jammed and you sought God, right? Than you are planning to jam all the time. That's how some people's faith work is. They plan to fail all the time so that they'll be calling for help. You are changing yourself. The question will be, what will you now teach other people if you're planning to fail consistently? So, what are you going to teach other people? So, failure is not bad in itself. I'll say it again. Failure is not even the main crux. We fail effortlessly, but make sure that your path to that failure, at least you made certain attempts, so that when you see somebody else failing in that direction, you just say, guy, did you even try this part? Or more, I did it all and it didn't work. I did this other one and it didn't work. I did another one and it didn't work. So you should be seen saying things like that, so that, okay, when you find the light, the good path, you can now say, oh, you're suggesting this. Nice. I've never done this before. I'm going to give it a try. Let's see how it comes out. So I've told us some of the things that we can do. Okay, so we've gotten some conversations so far. This is beautiful. Um, that's very beautiful. Whatever you can do now, better start doing it, because skills get better with time. And guess what? I told you guys, there is this 10,000 hour rule. For people who have read The Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, it's just simple, right? They calculated it, of course, they calculated it as an average of 10 years if you are spending certain amount of hours. I can't remember it now because I read that book 5 years ago. I haven't revisited it so far. I think I need to revisit it. But there are people who do total immersion. For me, if I'm starting anything new, I submerge myself. And submerge means my husband can walk in now as I'm training you guys, because actually he's working overtime this night. Like, he's trying to talk to me about something. I'll just say, sugar, please, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get this. I just know that if I don't get this thing now, it's going to be tougher. But some of you, hey, just will just come, just pia, you throw it away. Another thing, you just you'll be moving from one place to the other. Um the worst thing that can happen to anyone is, I think my mom used to say it a lot. I didn't even know it was a scripture. I didn't even know it was a Bible verse until I was reading either Proverbs or Psalms one day, and then I saw it. It said, a rolling stone gathers no musk. A rolling stone gathers no musk. It means you don't sit down on an idea, like you don't sit down and actually meditate. Anybody can drag you to any. In fact, some people are like that, and I think it's a personality trait for some people. You might just see somebody going to Sokoto, then you didn't have plans. You just say, please let me just enter and follow you. That's the perfect picture of somebody who really doesn't have anything going. And see, let me tell you, your soul, even you as a person, your soul doesn't want it for you. That you're undecided, unmeditated, just hanging around like paper, nothing going on in your mind consistently. Please, I'm hoping that we're going to improve. Okay, very much from that. Okay, somebody, okay, so we got a lot of conversation in this value for value. Offer them something beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, step out and pray. Beautiful. Don't negotiate without bringing something on the table. Thank you. Okay. Awesome. Beautiful. Okay, so I think we're going to the next. Yes. And guess what? It's not even easily because your integrity. Say you after begging, you now come and tell the person that you know how to train people in a certain way, or you know how to help people make money. How you want to take money? How will you even keep your mouth and tell them that you want to help them make money? Ha! And you just begged them as well. Oh. So I'm hoping that all of us are rearranging ourselves. So discipline is very important. The more you beg, the more entitled you'll be. Very true. A call to more meditation, beautiful. We are planners, awesome. So replacing wrong habits with productive ones, beautiful. Because the mind avoids vacuum. Okay, so exactly, that's very beautiful. She said, giving birth is not an emergency. You had 9 months. Prefer, beautiful. Okay, plan to win by taking action. Good, 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 good. Okay, so we've already moved beyond the first phase. Let's see how far we can go. Awesome. Very beautiful. Okay, so like I said, someone in my community had earned within 3 weeks $20,000 before, and it wasn't even such a big deal for her. In fact, the way she said it so casually, even me, I was scared for her. But then I'm grateful to God that she has consistently stood out from then since. Of course, so far, this plus this boot camp, we're going to be having 1,200. We're at 800 before the boot camp, so we had 300 people join us, and so it's a very beautiful sight to see. A very beautiful sight to see. Like I said, Princess, most of us know her very well. I got her a US client, and we had conversations, and it was from events like this as well. Then this is Esteem. Esteem is the one who currently travels all across the world from one LinkedIn post, and that's the kind of things we should be seeing, right? Kind of things we've been seeing. I know from all our conversations so far, I didn't really probably even talk about my story personally, but from everything that we are holding conversations around. Let me see. I hope there's nobody reaching out to me because I'm noticing a whole lot of alarms here. Sorry, give me probably 2 seconds. No, maybe I don't want to say 2 seconds. Give me 2 minutes, please, for a moment. Okay, so we are good in this place. That's very beautiful. Thank you so much for that time. Okay, so like I said, this was my story of Phoenix Gate. When I showed up, I've always been a very spiritual person. So for the people who are in the spiritual niche, I think somebody asked a question earlier. I was hoping that the person was going to follow with the questions I with the question, follow with an answer to the question I asked him, but he didn't answer, right? So I can't really help him. But for me, I came from the spiritual point of view. In fact, I was a minister in my church. That's before I even got married. I've always been a radical for Jesus kind of thingy. So when I showed up on LinkedIn, same value, same thing. Of course, you know that there's a regimentation that medicine gives you. For me, that's my proudest moment for medicine. Like I was someone who didn't find medical school even hard. It was simple. All this drama that people are acting, like you'll be shaking during exams, just read every day. Right, just read every day, and that was the same way I showed up on LinkedIn. That's why I told you guys from my first event, like it's simple, read every day. So even when people didn't have that kind of result, in fact, most of the things I did, I started it from me because other people came in. Maybe if they're going to host event, da 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 da, da, they were coming in as superstars. In fact, I started all these things. I showed up on LinkedIn to meet 600 people after I opened the account and I ran away. I just opened it because every employment I tried to touch my hands on. Because I started out with international remote jobs. Any employment I would touch my hands on, they would tell me, okay, my LinkedIn URL. So I had to open LinkedIn. So immediately I opened LinkedIn, I walked off. So by the time I showed up, all these stories are in the book. I will not want to boss, right? But let me just be as short as possible, right? Immediately I showed up, I met like 600 people. That meant I needed to build from there. And like I said, I have a spiritual background. So my heart has always been for the people. Like for the people. That's where the whole concept, the mother ego, and then Phoenix Gate. Phoenix Gate was um a season of my life when I thought it was honorable to shrink just so that your leaders can shine. I used to think, oh, if you have maybe flyer, if you host things, it's gonna look like you're coming against leadership, you're not following the vision of the house, dramatic things like that. And I've had a circle of things like that happen to me twice. Most of the time I'm so knowledgeable about something, but I just feel like maybe if I shrink a little bit, I'll easily be accommodated in some modes. So, and in all of those circles of my life, I got hurt because most people, I told you, life punishes the timid, though, and I mean it with my whole life. If I can cry for you people here, I will cry for you. Life punishes the timid. I am taking this statement so dear to my heart because this was the experience I had straight up. So one of the things I realized that every single time I went through that circle, guess what? On the background, I'll do everything. Hey, prayer so every day for me in the choir. Then I was also a minister in the choir. Every week we'll pray every day for Sunday service. We rehearse almost, in fact, we rehearse online. All these things I do online. It's not today I started doing it here. I'll set up meetings online, we'll pray online, we'll rehearse online, we'll show up on ground. I was pregnant with my baby and all that. I would, in fact, I sang till my last week of delivery at some point, right? In all of these conversations. And guess what? Anytime a change wants to happen, people will just feel like, oh, you're not so expressive. Let's just get other people. In fact, they will just some things. And see, I've had several circles like that in my life. I don't know. Like I would just want to choose the background somehow. I will work so hard. Somebody will just be there taking my voice, the person. And the wickedness, because me, if I work with you or have anything to do with you, I don't think it's robbery to call your name and say, okay, this person inspired me, please, people should celebrate the person. But I'm telling you, all the people, in fact, let me do not say all, because let's say that, let me just give honor to a few people who probably would probably take their flowers, right? Most of them, I'll just teach them everything, film, then they'll keep quiet. When they're in front of most of the leaders, right, they will just own it. So most times if restructuring is happening, I'll always be looked as the one who is the challenge. That was even the thing that brought me on LinkedIn. I said, no, there is no way marriage or having kids is going to dim my shine in any way. And thank God I have a very supportive husband. But then, of course, like I told you guys, those series of phases, I'm like, Jesus. My Igbo name is Azuka. And Azuka, in every sense, is like my dad saw when I was born and knew that this girl is going to be a power engine. For like he called me that from my first day. So I don't get, every single time I'm always looped in this circle. Some people will just start acting dramatic, then they'll be feeling like, okay, they're probably favoring me because I was trying to shrink myself. I'll do everything. I'll put people in front. That was where the phoenix came out from. I told myself never again, right? Not just never again that I'll be seen down. It's never again with anybody be seen down around me. So it means if you come around me, you better get to work, because it's not my glory you will come and take. And of course, thank God for the glory of God that's shone on all of us and the light that comes on us. You must walk your walk. That's what I'm telling you. I tell you what to do. You go and do it for yourself. Of course, I will support you in the best way that I can. But we will make sure that we walk. Anybody that is my circle of influence, you will walk. People who are in the boot camp, people who are in my mentorship, see, you will walk until, of course, provided you're submissive. Of course, there's some people who pay for the boot camp and they're so wealthy, you'll be saying one thing, they'll be doing another thing. That one is their own business. But anybody who submits themselves properly and would want me to express myself in the sense that that's what God has called me to do, that's exactly what I'm going to do for you. So, like I said, that was where the phoenix it came. I rose from ashes. Oh God, I was heartbroken. I was so heartbroken that I told myself, never in my life, Rama, will I be taking the backstage for other people, because other people are actually just not fair. They are just not nice. And that's life for you. You're assuming that, okay, so that person that you're probably telling answers before you walk into that boardroom, that the person will say, oh, I'm sorry, please, I just want to say that some of these ideas were literally curated by Dr. Vivian Magnus. I am just probably just listing a few ideations on it. No, you just see the person will even stand up, does shoulder, and say, sir, I think this is gonna work here. And you now be sitting down there shaking. and then feeling bad, and tomorrow again the person probably will pat you and tell you, don't worry, we'll share 50-50. By the time the money comes out, otilo, sorry if you're from other tribes or other countries, otilo means the person has gone. So but the person has taken your opportunity to be what's the word, hired, your opportunity to probably be promoted. And for me, that's why I went all out. There's nobody, even in my church, there's nobody that mistakes what I'm doing. I work remotely and I work it proudly. You cannot, if anybody needs any training for remote how to stand out, building your personal brand, bootcamp, they know I'm the one. Even some of you who have contacted me in my DM, my automation, you see everything. There is no mistake. No mistake. So some of you who are still hiding things in the name of faceless YouTube channel, well, that's good. But your personal brand will pay you more than any platform. In fact, for me, I try to avoid building for platforms because in the end, right, anything can happen and there's nothing wrong with it, but you want to make sure that you as a name can also be monetized at any time t. There are lots of people who have gone from one brand to the other effortlessly just because they are known, just because they are the one. So for me, my main core, right, audacity, kindness. So the fact that I know everything doesn't mean I shouldn't be able to reach out to you. Like I think I was talking to Damike. I said most times I like to handle my students even personally because I want to show them that this is not a big deal of what I do. Like the fact that I know so much doesn't mean I should treat you any differently. That's because in my soul, something brought me out. So for some of you, you need to find out that hurt because that's a recipe for long-term building. Some of you just show up on LinkedIn and you're just building haphazardly. You're building for money, building just confusion all over the place. You don't have something that will make you dare up to wake. Like me, I post every 6:30 every day. And trust me, for people, three children, three, I have twins, I have a husband who helps me do almost literally everything. But if he didn't see that this thing means a lot to me, he'll tell me, oh, it's not possible. Oh. But we wake up every day in my house at 4 because we must have our devotions as a family before I even think of posting at my 6:30. That's why I moved my time into 6:30 because I have to pray with my family and then of course maybe make sure I engage before I post. That's how serious people are to me. So I'm saying again, building takes intentionality. You cannot find growth randomly. Just eliminate that thing from your mind. Deceptive kind of growth. You just want to be leveraging kind of growth. Eliminate it. Just do the hard work. Most of us are even young people. And by young people, I mean less than 80 years, less than 100 years. I even have plans. My goodness. I have plans of my social media presence when I'm 80, 100 by God's grace, if God spares me in that direction, because that is where my faith is I'm going to. So I'm going to look um at our comment section so far before I move into. Mm-hmm. Yes. Somebody said, working in church really prepared us for so much in real life, even just the blessings from pastor. Beautiful. Please find communities, which is part of the things we're also building here, right? So for our generation, it might just have been just working in church. But for some of you, if you work in communities like this, join the boot camps, exercise your mind. You would literally have the same, you can, and then you've heard some of the things that you're hearing so far. You likely be disciplined enough to take your life at the jugular, right? Okay. Yes. So somebody was affirming that. Beautiful. Don't shrink. That's right. Beautiful. Sugar, welcome. Did you buy any drink? You always say it's not my own. Sorry, guys. My husband just came in. Okay. You must walk the walk. Beautiful. We're going to get to work. All of us here. If you need to spend, it's not even if you want growth and visibility on LinkedIn, spend time on LinkedIn. It's not a hard thing to do. Spend time on LinkedIn. Some of you, once one post goes viral, you go AWOL for the next 2 days. I'm like, huh? Huh? Okay, and Auntie Daniel once said, if you're useful, you'll be used. But if you're valuable, you'll be valued. Well, like I said yesterday, there's nothing wrong with being used. Is a level. Like nobody eventually becomes valuable without being used. So the exchange, that transaction should be taking place in your life. If you get to a place and you're not valued, you're supposed to do like this. It's not supposed to. You're not supposed to go and lie down somewhere and you're crying and say, "Oh God, I'm the one that they did not give mic. They just push me one side." No, that will not solve the problem. Is that you get to being used again. Okay, being used is, so let me say, using an example of a chorister, being used is going back in and use your voice. So by yourself, you have sleepless nights rehearsing all night daily, maybe in the next 6 months, and you go again. When they now give you the mic, right, you're likely going to sing excellently. So that is where the value comes. So you don't it's not even a problem if you're not being used, if you're not valued now. It's not even a challenge. I hope people are understanding this thing. It's not even like a mockery thing anymore. If you're not valued, just get to work. Just get to work on LinkedIn or anywhere. Just get to work. Okay. That's why for me, I don't really get agitated when I see people on the top, and then I also don't look down on people when I see them down. It's just simple for me. If you're ready to get to work, we're gonna have the results that we're gonna get. Oh, awesome! You're here with me already, Damiki. Sorry, excuse me. Okay, so let me quickly just answer this. I'm a faith and leadership niche. By faith, I mean adopt biblical principles to inspire and transform through coaching, training, and speaking engagements. Okay, so you're a motivational speaker or you're a life coach? Because if you say faith, I don't know if is there a faith niche. I stand to be corrected though, but is there a faith niche? Because if your marketplace actually. So maybe we can think around that. If you can answer me quickly, that would be good. Okay. Beautiful. So we've already seen what Mary Daisy said there. Okay. I think a lot of LinkedIn coaches can also make you start to sound the same. Okay. I think a lot of LinkedIn coaches can also, okay, I don't know if I understood. I think there's a typo there. Building takes intentionality. Building takes intentionality. Beautiful. Okay, so that means we're in the same place. Let me see how much time we have today. We'll conclude tomorrow. For the people who missed today, I don't know what to tell them. So let's just move people to exactly. So somebody has even said it. If you're not used, and being used is there's a different thing. It's a different thing for people, someone to always use you to complete their, in chess, to use you to move all the key players, that you are being rocked. Being rocked is different from being used. In this case, I'm telling people that in my community that be proactive at what you want to build. Not that somebody will just find you lying idle and is now moving you in the chessboard. Oh yeah, go and do this for me. Go and do this for me. Most times, if you don't sit down and think, that's the being used that I hate, that a lot of people talk about. Maybe that hate is such a strong word, but that I dislike a lot. So you find a bunch of people together and everybody is just using them to build a vision. So they are just working a vision that is not entirely theirs. I like people to fit as a needle in my organization. That means you found yourself. So even before, in quotes, I'm trying to bring you on board to do something for me. Like some of the people who reached out to me from camp, even after yesterday's event, I think I had like 4 volunteers who just chatted me up immediately. Now they've been able to see themselves and what they can do. So they are now offering themselves. I'm saying intentionality is you offering yourself. The use that I'm talking about is not the one that somebody sits down in quotes in the name of leadership and is drafting it at you. Sometimes you will not follow your trust index lineage, because sometimes they would have told you, oh, yeah, go and do this. You will not even document it because you don't even know how important that thing is. But for them, it will become another number for them. Oh, we had 1,000 people join the church, and you are just another number, right? But you were part of the people who did the brand marketing, who did content, but you don't even know that it's a job. But you're in church lying down there from morning to night. You don't even think, oh, let me just start positioning myself as a brand this thing. So if church is going for evangelism, I now know that, okay, what are the campaigns? What are the things we did? Oh, at first when we started my church YouTube channel, like for me, I volunteered in my fourth church online for my church, but I volunteered as a brand strategist. Every day behind church, I'll just be telling them, this thing, people cannot do this. If they project another color that's not my church's color, I'll say, this thing people are projecting, what is this color about? So I'm already saying, of course, let's see if we can get there this night, right? But I'm there, everything. We grew our church's page 350% this year. But I never, even the person I'm working with, I came as a volunteer, but I came because I'm also going to take my receipt of work. So now we're not even talking about that religious being used. Is that you're submitting yourself when you're going to any department that represents what you do in real life. You're also taking documentation of where you met them. So if you're working with anybody now, let's say somebody comes into your DM, ask them from their pain point. What would you? I talked about it yesterday as well. What do you think a 5-star rating would be if I work with you? What would you term excellent to be? Maybe the person, if you're a video editor, the person might send you a sample video or might send you anything. You are creating your trust index lineage. So it means that now you already know that, okay, if I'm partnering with church as a leadership coach or a public speaker, every single time that the church calls me to speak, I will prepare physically as somebody who is in that niche, spiritually as somebody who's going to speak in church, but I'm also going to take documentation. I am going to give my phone to my friend, yeah, as I'm going on stage. Just follow me like this. You go up, as you're going on stage, you're walking, you take the mic, both your opening prayers. If there are places where you're putting hot punches, the video editor cuts it. When you come in the marketplace, you post, oh, I was able to, I was granted an opportunity to speak on a faith-based platform. Or you can say your local church, and then you were able to talk about these salient, beautiful points. But like I said, when they talk about people being used, you see some people in communities and organizations 10 years and their life is not even looking at it. They've lost earthly relevance. I've heard some people say that over and over again. So I say it again because I want all of us to be intentionally building. So anywhere you are attaching yourself, you're not attaching yourself to just be tossed around like a goat without shepherd. Is that you are also, when you are joining the community or you're joining the workforce of your church, you know exactly what is in the winning for you. You know exactly what you want to gain from it. That's why, you see, once you've come in terms with your why, that's why you'll be the one who will not miss choir rehearsals for those who are in choir, because you know that you're going to even take your behind the stage singing. You just say, okay, imagine this was how our rehearsal started, and then the next phase they show you singing in church. And sometimes if there is a hero story, that means maybe they were not singing so well at rehearsal, and then eventually they started singing so well. If you're recording artists, right, but you can now share stories that inspire people or something, or you can keep your before when you used to sing nonsense. Then when you grew, maybe after you started spending 10 hours per day rehearsing, or 2 hours per day rehearsing, or 20 hours per day rehearsing, you can just tell them that, imagine rehearsing 20 hours per day in 3 months got my voice to this point, but you have your behind the scenes. So I'm saying it again, building intentionally. So you don't go attach yourself. So for some people who are in the pastorate who are also here, don't go and be giving problems to your pastors, or they'll tell you to preach. You'll just be running hiki like goats. Anytime you have an experience and the Holy Ghost is already nudging a particular conversation in your heart, you find out that in church that day, you just hear your pastor, they'll just give you the mic or you go and talk. It's not for you to say, oh, this is my first time here. If you can be vulnerable, oh, there's nothing wrong with saying first time here, provided at the end of it, you charge up, right? And you start holding strong conversations based on what God led. But most of the people who say, oh, this is my first time, oh, I'm shaking, I'm angry, at the end of the day, you've just wasted people's time. And it's not because it's your first time. You just lack intentionality. Just forget it. I told you guys that the first time I was paid almost $500,000 at a speaking gig, it was my first ever time. But see, even the lady I brought then, when it was her time to speak, she was shaking. And after it, she came back and met me on the chair. She was just saying, Vivian, Jesus, I was so scared. How did you do it? As soon as she said that, I already had my hero story. I keep things, it's not everything is vulnerability. So if it's some of you, as you're going there, you call her and just be say, hey, madam, it's our first time, both of us. What are we going to do? But me, I didn't tell her that. I kept my hero story as the hot. As soon as she came in, I spoke for 4 hours straight on that particular topic. Life is the same, right? You put in, you put out. I spoke for 4 hours and it was my first ever time. When I came and sat down and I allowed her to speak, I think by the time we had just she told me to just give her 30 minutes, I should be able to wrap up. And then she spoke for 30 minutes and she came back and sat beside me. I said, Dr. Vivian, Jesus, how did you do it? This is my first time. And I turned to her and said, Madam, this is also my first time. You can imagine what it was for her. So it's simple. It's not really your first time that is the matter. Is your brain proteins, your framework. How do you approach a new thing every single time you have an opportunity to start something new? That is where the problem is. And that's what a lot of people started calling brand strategy and all that. But I've told you guys, for me, the hatred to see people fail, or the dislikeness, for a better word, to see people fail consistently, and understanding that Jesus, God has the whole world in his hands. And if he has called me to be a partner with him, I should easily just partner with God, right? As much as within my power to make the sacrifices necessarily to have God's work done on the earth. And that's exactly why the Phoenix concept and Jesus. When that cycle happened to me again, I was just telling myself, I said for nights, I was pregnant with my twins then. Many nights I didn't sleep. In fact, at some point I was scared that I might have a miscarriage or something. Surprisingly, I didn't even know I had twins, because me, I don't care with my twins or not. I work with pregnancy or not, except my first pregnancy where I had a little challenge. And the challenge was essentially I didn't want to eat. I just lost appetite then, but it didn't stop me from doing everything that I was doing. My strength, I found ways as a medical doctor to replace energy stores. I was taking dextrose saline. I took drips before going to work. So nobody really knew what was happening to me until they started telling me that I needed to do 48 hours. I told them, yeah, because I show up strong doesn't mean that you want to use me, and the whole drama. I think that part of that is also in the book as well. So, but I'm saying all this so that you understand that except you connect with your inner you, what are the things that you are here, like you perceive in your spirit for the longest that you're born to do here? That is called your own why. It's always better that whatever you want to serve with, which is your low hanging fruit, it's easier for me. That's why I'm very passionate about coaching, because I noticed that there have been lots of propaganda about things generally in life. In fact, many systems do that over and over again. What normally happens is that when people find the light, they will just rock any other person. Nobody cares if you are getting it or not. They will just use you, make money, throw you, and run away. And that, for me, that is the main thing I hate. Okay, so I make sure, or the word dislike, I should stop using that hate word. Okay, so I make sure that anybody I work with, there's no peace for the wicked. You must grow, because at the end, if you don't grow, if you don't find yourself, you might be feeling so hot. Some of you, they'll even give you position. They will position you out of your brain, position you to be a pawn, as in somebody that will be moved around the chess, whatever they call that. All these chess people. Now that chess is just coming up, I will go and read about it. Okay, but like they will just use you in their own gram scheme of things. They don't even care if you're growing enough, provided it benefits them. Even God doesn't want that for you. Now, this is me being even very spiritual, right? God does not want that for you. Even as you grow, he also wants you to prosper, even as your soul prospers. So anytime you're working with people, or even you, if they are CEOs here, I'm calling you people out who are just about making sure that their own what do they call it, their own vision is working. Why people are, sometimes you might squeeze people into different departments even though you know that it's not their strength, just because you want a particular result. Those of you, I'm calling you people out right now. So like I said, except you pay attention to your soul, you won't even know some of the things that you're missing out on. Okay, so let me look quickly. Okay, every single thing you can do can be a brand. Exactly. And that is where meditation comes in. You will not even know that you have a story until you start meditating, guys. You will not even know that you have a story relevant to what you do, because the truth is, most people will get connected to your brand from your story. I think Mama has started reading the book. Have you gotten to that point? This is a very good one. Don't be shy to record, keep receipts of what you do. Beautiful. If I highlight, okay, I don't know. I think this is half. Um, so that's why most of the portfolios I see hanging around, there is no emotion to it. Very funny people. For a video editor, you think your portfolio is just to go and fire, what did you call it, like 20, 30 videos. Of course, most people will just work with you like that. Those ones, you guys are very skilled and all. But for virtual assistants, a lot of people want to know why they can trust you. And see, for every block of story which will come from you meditating, that's how people will be more connected to you. There are some of you, what you're going to remember might just be strictly my story about how I got born twice and how I swore that nobody will be small again. And you're like, yes, this is the right person to work with, because she will ensure that I become everything that God has planned for me to be. So that is how you make sure that you take out time, meditate, ruminate, act, step out, meditate. Even for people who are going on live, please make sure that you don't go there and you're just sharing stuff mindlessly. Anyway, the book will help you. We have a chapter on life events, how to prepare for life events, and then for an excellent convertible life event, that one is has to be people in the boot camp that I will teach better. I cannot teach. I might not have that much time. Okay, so you must go. Okay, awesome. So tell me how far we have all gone. So like I said, please get the book. Damike, just send them the link right now on the group for those people who need to get on board. Get on board. What I will do if we have many people come in between now on and Sunday, I will just host a very, because I know that people are distracted. That's why I do live events as much as possible. I avoid recorded um classes because I know that most people, even if they record, if you have recorded classes, most people might end up not taking those classes. And that's you losing the transformative process. Of course, after a while, God knows, I'll have to go into other things, right? But I also would want to make sure that I keep my life events open. So I'm saying, as many people who are lucky to meet me now, take as many as you can, join the bootcamp, join the book club. Let's work together, of course, because we're all believing God for bigger things for next year. I called my 2026 a traveling year, and God is already meeting those desires for me. Okay, so I told you guys last year we won the most impactful community. I won the social impact award. That's because people know that I do things with my soul. I don't know. Even this year again, I still had the same award, social impact. Then for my department in church, my for church, I was the best. What was the name now? I was recognized for my commitment, consistency, and service. It's the same spirit, right? Once you've gotten something right. So, but then most people, you give birth to one, give birth to two, three, you will just, you will even just become mama late comer. Every Sunday, you're the last person to enter church. You just be saying, gaga, gaga, gaga. You have twins, you're confused. I have all that. And news flash for some people who don't know, I don't even have maids in my house. We don't have maids in our house, at least for this phase of our children. And that's why I resorted to working online, because I want to be present in my children's life. So the little plays that we'll play together, even while I meditate, I do it with them, right? Some of the conversations I hold with them, I knew that my fourth church online, that's my church online, would do very well if I joined. I just need to be in a team, and I like, okay, this place, people are needing help in this direction, and that is what I do. So I started doing that. So you can imagine. So when I see people say they don't have time, I used to just say, that's all I say. Because even me, I will be telling you that, right? Even me, I will be telling you that me, I don't have time. But God forbid that I will bring you on board and then I'll mess with your own timing or play with you. But still, I'll say all these stories. Some people are still not serious. So if you're a nursing mom, probably a retiree, this is just me also. In fact, if you notice, most of the people who are in my community who are moving things, some of them just give birth. Rabia to just give birth. Dr. Nkem, I think her daughter, her son is like 6 months or so. Even Rabia to give birth to a boy. Then who else is pregnant that I just found out? So I'm just trying to cancel every excuse possible. So if you're a Gen Z, oh Chim, if you're a Gen Z, this boot camp is dedicated to you. You're Gen Z and you're still crying after one boy that likes you or not. It's all right. Let me make sure I don't use any negative word on you. But I'm hoping that I'm going to see you around by all means. Okay. So this was me in 2019 professionally, a medical doctor. Even while as a medical doctor, as a single, I started business. And guess what my motivation was? Social impact. I started business so that I was going to give to my church, because my church had, what was the event that we had there? I think, was it our True Life conference? We normally have a True Life conference where people sow seeds and all that. And because my family has always been like, I will not, I don't have that hero story of I was broke, I was drinking Gary. No, not my family. Like I told you guys, in fact, when I was much more younger, we didn't have anybody in my family who worked for the government. So it meant that every money that came to us, We made it ourselves. So I told you guys, I think it was it in Blossom's bootcamp where I was talking about I spend money effortlessly? Yes, for me, I can just decide to do any business and I don't have small entering. I don't have, oh, let's try and error. No, my personality cannot accommodate that. That's why even when I showed up on LinkedIn, my personality could not accommodate all those bomber things. I go for the big things. Okay, so this was me. This was my first ever flyer for the sales I had, and I told people there and then I made my first million. In fact, even my salary, I didn't touch it, which was already plus millions already. Because then I think I had almost 2 million like for my salary that I did one thing like that. I don't know how to explain it. We don't Since I was into business, I wasn't using my salary, so we had cooperative, work-based cooperative. Please don't do that with people that you see somebody place it on WhatsApp, then they will say things because it's going to start 2026 again. Then they will say group of and say things like group of 30 or no group of 12 to pack 10 million naira at the end of the year. Then maybe this person is a shoe cobbler, this person is a tailor, this person, then all of you now join together and enter one group, and then you'll be giving. Then when it's your turn, you now see that people are just cutting your money halfway. Don't do that with people like that. Do that in places where you know that you already have you know when salary is going to enter. Bagam. In fact, it's always better you do some of those cooperatives with work base, the one that they will take out the money from from your account before it even take out the money from the bursary before it even lands into your account. So that was what I did. So throughout my house, my internship, I didn't really spend my money, like my internship money, like that, because I was doing business, and I started business because I wanted to give to church. So, like I told you guys, that's why I'm strongly social impact. I don't know how to explain this thing to you guys. So it means that transaction for me didn't start because I was looking for anything money. I was looking for something to give. And it was because I was looking for something to give that I now discovered that I had the low hanging fruit that I've been playing with. And that was business, my ability to market things, my ability to make things big in such a short time. So I told you guys, first week of my campaign, I already made my 7 figures effortlessly. In fact, everybody around me were scared, but it's my personality. I know that anytime I start something, I don't do it small. So that was how, even when I showed up on LinkedIn, same pattern, of course. But like I told you guys, most people they are not wise, right? If you see people giving you opportunities, you don't know when to take it. So I've talked about the whole pregnancy story. This is essentially me. This was when I started out my first Upwork job. Then this was when we're doing events. It's only discipline that will make you hold events every week, back to back, 1,000 attendees, and they didn't pay you a dime. And I did that for 6 months stretch. And you think that's why I keep telling people visibility is not enough. And I can say it with my full chest. I don't think as there are people who will have that much impressions, that much discipline. And I told you guys, we still rehearse all my speakers. I never have speakers who just show up. It's even recently that I will just tell you, do your thing. Me, I've never ever had any speaker on my platform show up and just manifest. No, we do rehearsals because I don't take my people for granted. But you think that the people will be wise, you think that they'll be smart and take action because it's free now. So for me, I had to tune down on that weekly event. But I said, even in all that, I was helping people. I did not have the value I was giving out. I didn't have something that required an exchange. I was just passionate. I'm a social impact. I just want to see people get better. But the smart people, they thought they were wise, but they were not. Okay, but I'm also telling you. So if in case somebody is out there telling you just be visible, that it will add up, just be visible, and you're trying all means, all manner, you do pot system, you're entering people's DM and say react for me, all those rubbish, you are hurting your brand by far. You are hurting your brand by far. If people find you like by the reason of your post, even though your impressions are bad, but you gave value and they enter your DM, is far better than just grow. Let's just grow. We'll see how it goes. You see why even in relationships, most of those men that say, let's see how it goes, run from them. Anybody that doesn't have a vision with you, just give him space, give him chance. It's better that you had someone who had a vision with you and then something came along the way and the person changed. So your own story can be, Jesus, this guy told me that I was gonna be his heaven and earth and all the drama that is accrued to it. And now he just left me in the middle of the road. Your story will make sense. There's somebody who comes and meets you and say, girl, I don't know where this ship is going, but can we just meet? Can you come to my house? If anything happens, even you know that you cannot open your mouth to share that story. That's why. So you can't even make money from your own story. So I've told everybody you can actually make money from every story. In fact, if you're more intentional, the better. If you check what's his name? Mr. Beast. If you go to his YouTube channel, he has a YouTube channel that he recorded specifically for his future self. He said, "Oh, today I feel so down. I don't know what I'm going to be doing now, but just in case you're viewing this in 15 years' time, I can tell you that I'm currently frustrated at this point. Da 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 da. Da. Guess what? When the video came out, everywhere. That's what some of our, what did you call it? Some of our people will term as everywhere stew. Everybody ran to it and people were encouraged. That's the hero journey that we want you to take, not the other one. Okay. No, I was just doing it. It's not the channel and accent. I'm fine. I forgot to I can speak phonetics now. It's not part of the training. Okay, so I've said it now. So if somebody tells you, let's see how it goes, you know that you're the one who when to put yourself into what you know. So you cannot even open your mouth and complain because in the first time the person told you, didn't I tell you that I did not have any plan for you? You say, okay, yes, you said it, but I thought you will change. You know, ladies are miracles. They always believe that they can love a criminal. They can love a criminal into being good. The most foolish ones is that you know outrightly that this person has this pattern and maybe the person who eventually marries the person is your friend and you know all the problems around this person, then the person divorces his wife, then you now go there and you're saying he's just hurting, I just want to help out. You want to help out with your destiny. Ha ha ha, it's gonna be well with you. Okay, so like I told you guys, the thing that we really need to pay more attention on, right, is intentionality. So I discussed a little bit about this yesterday. I talked about why LinkedIn is different from every other platform. See, Instagram, YouTube is enjoyable, right? It is, there are more consumers than creators, even on LinkedIn as well. But if it's only creators that wake up, like the main people who are actively growing on LinkedIn that wake up to open LinkedIn, just wake up and run to LinkedIn because you want to post, you want to engage because you know that there's something you want of it. But the people who are there for business will not show up on LinkedIn every day because there's nothing interesting per se about LinkedIn. But people will definitely open Instagram whether they like it or not. Some of you, even after all this our conversation, you just see yourself watching Lasisi or going to what's this other one's name? Mr. Funny or whoever they are. You just find yourself going to watch them and you just ha ha ha. That's how Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, which is also here, is means that people can randomly just they are having one enjoyment and the algorithm will just push them into your post. That means it's possible that they can see you randomly. But LinkedIn is not like that, right? So if you are not valuable, you're just shooting yourself on the foot because it's possible that the person who was supposed to see you today in your value might not show up on LinkedIn till next month, maybe when they are planning to hire again. So for the people who always say, let's just keep cruising, you better know what you're really on LinkedIn to do because the platform was not really wired for cruise or it's not wired for cruise yet. Yes, cruising might what do they call it? Shift the algorithm. But I will say again, it's better that you gain visibility from the place of your value. Of course, there are days when you do very short and light posts so that okay, it can move. People can just skim through the post quickly and comment and move. I do that once in a while. In fact, I try to make my posts very short, especially when I'm hosting events like this, because I know that my dwell time on LinkedIn will be less, right? And that might affect my reach as well. Except, of course, when you guys repost my posts. Reposting is another magic altogether. We'll discuss that maybe tomorrow. Is better you now know, okay, so if you don't sit down and find your monetization pathway specific for your niche, study around it, start thinking, documenting. If somebody meets you in a wrong place, that person has met you. Maybe the next time the person come back, it might be in another 3 months. But there are people who will wake up and they're on TikTok. There are people who will wake up. In fact, it's even God that is begging them to please leave Instagram and pray first before they go there. But if you're a creator, which is you are the one who is serving, you will run to LinkedIn because that's your main place. But other people would not run to LinkedIn just yet. So that's why it's very important that you build yourself ready for conversion at any point, whether in your comment sessions or in your main post. But at least maybe if you can make it once a week, if you're building a voice, you're trying to get a brand, you want to be known for something. That's what I did. In fact, it's season when I stayed on my monetization. Oh Jesus. Somebody, it was fire for fire every day. You cannot read my post and you will not get sense. I was just wiping everybody. I wiped everybody to the point where everybody knows now on LinkedIn. When it talks about monetization, see, just leave it to Vivian. When you're building your brand and you're building your brand avatar, that's the first phase you have to do. The goal is not even first of all to be viral and you're viral for nothing. Nobody can partner with you. Nobody can do anything serious with you. Maybe you can launch programs because you have reached maybe 1K, 2K. People will buy from that program. But it will still not help you, right? It might still not help you because we're talking thought leadership. We're talking thought leadership. So sometimes you might have to do that holistic. That's what we call it, total immersion. There's a very top preacher that always talks about that, right? He's called visionary. Total immersion means that in a season, in fact, it's still physics, right? The law, it's another law of physics, right? If you want to learn anything new, just immerse yourself so much that any conversation you want to hold, it will just be coming out from your brain. Like any small thing. In fact, you can't help but talk about that conversations. Now, after a while, everybody will just say, if we're talking about leadership, is this girl, is this guy? But you need to meditate properly so that your brand story can come out from your proper meditation. So if you can hear me and we have gotten to this point, see, I hear you. Right? See, I hear you. I'm trying to be loud enough. I hope I'm loud because I don't want people sleeping on me. I think we've gone very far. Let's attempt questions. Let's attempt at questions. For the people who are in the book club, we'll give them certificates for this meeting. I'll try to be as extensive as possible. That means even after tomorrow, for the people in the book club, we have another meeting. I'm thinking I've been meditating. Can you accommodate like 4 hours straight meeting for the people in the book club? But if you've gotten the book and you're in the book club, say yes, so that I will know that on Sunday I'll just block 4 hours and stretch people's brain. You ask questions. Um, that one will be a very private. I'll make sure that my my Google, I'll see, because I started having problems with paying for my Google Meets. I don't know why. It started recently. My card, I don't know, it keeps rejecting my card. So that's where my challenge is. But that will still make sure that the meeting will be very private for us. So, but then it will be questions. I would want to hear you guys ask questions for the people in the book club so that we'll do tailored and made, and then we'll also certify people there. Okay, so I've told you guys this one yesterday. So let me just see where we can take. Please, let me just teach for another 15 minutes. I don't want to stretch us. If it's me, I've trained for 5 hours. My first ever boot camp. I trained for 5 hours. Oh Lord. It felt good. People did not believe it. You need to see LinkedIn turned into the next day because everybody kept talking about it. And me now, I can even go for another 10 hours. It's passion. That's why it's very important that you are very needed to your why. So that the only thing that will be keeping you will be personal and positive restraint. Like sometimes you just want to restrain yourself. It's not because you don't have anything to say, but just because you just want to restrain yourself. But not that you're restraining because your head is empty. Okay, so LinkedIn, the money platform. Like LinkedIn is the largest professional network platform in the world, right? We said 1 billion view members. Yes, I think we all clocked 1 billion this year. And I told you guys, if you check LinkedIn, just like what I said yesterday, if you check LinkedIn, on browser, when you want to download LinkedIn, you see the right LinkedIn latest business news and job board. That's what is written there. Even LinkedIn themselves did not correct it. Even after the what do they call it? The platform started evolving. So it's meaning something. You have to start thinking. I told you guys transactional, and transactional, you only be a thief to expect to collect something from people without giving something. That is stealing. And I'm telling you that that's not, if you hear transaction from my mouth, I am not talking about taking alone. I'm talking first about giving, because blessed. So blessed is the hand that gives. That means empowered to prosper is the hand that gives, gives. Everybody who gives always prospers. So I told you guys that 41% of millionaires are on LinkedIn. That means almost everybody you see. CEOs are like in fact, it's one credible platform that literally all top professionals, whether in the US, UK, all of them, they are literally on LinkedIn. In fact, US has one massive database, 234 million people, 34 million US users are on LinkedIn, 234 million. And most of them are professionals. Most top dignitaries are on LinkedIn. Most of, because they trust LinkedIn. So people will just say, they don't believe social media. You will not see them, some of them on Instagram. You will not even see some of them on TikTok and all that. But you see them on LinkedIn because it's a professional space, it's a place. And most times, most workplaces, they other these days they've started saying, Give us your social media handle." If they're asking for your Instagram and they're asking for your TikTok and all other social media handles, they are just using it to check if you're a reasonable person. But you see, for credibility and authority, they will just ask you for your LinkedIn profile. So it's very important that you know how you're building what you're building. Okay. So now, if we can just wrap it up in the next 5 minutes here, right? I would have done a major assignment. Tomorrow, we conclude this part of the boot camp. For the people who join us for the rest, like I said, as many as you are, just make an attempt to be. Even the book club is low ticket, so that it will not be so hard for you. It might not be as intensive. It should just be we going through the book, but questions, you can ask me questions. I'm an compendium. Yes, that's the word of knowledge by God's grace. It was is what giving has brought me. God has brought me into that life by the reason of my giving. But you can also try other what's the word? When you join the boot camp, we will press the jugular, right? If I see your patterns, there are many people I even call one on one to make sure that they are winning. So, like I said, there are 6 C's of LinkedIn monetization that a lot of people are not talking enough. Most people will just come out and just start talking about the transactional part, which is the commerce. I just use commerce to be transaction, the transactional part, but that is not really, most people, once you just talk about monetization, they will just go straight to can. Let's, what are we going to use to start making money? That's not how to think, right? You have to start from a place of clarity. So everything we've spoken till now, I told you how I was able to come from the injury in my soul, right? To seeing how it can literally transform people's lives by paying attention to my low hanging fruit, which is Madam Spill Naira, Madam Spin Dollars. I'm just very comfortable making people do things, earn things. I even do it for myself too. I earn things, make things, have opportunity. Then of course I list it also with public speaking. So please, everybody who is in my boot camp, public speaking is normal for all of us. There's nothing like introvert or fear of speaking. We just speak. If you need help, get training. We have many people who train people. I'm sure Mama was around yesterday. I don't know if she's here. Try and train yourself consciously. Meditate on your stories. Go to, we're on YouTube now. Maybe when I'm done, find other people discussing their stories and start paying attention to how people are sharing their stories. You see a regular pattern. In the book, we talked about the storytelling arc. So see, that book is just like, if you can meditate on that book, see, you would have won at least as somebody giving you light. But then your second phase of winning will be the action. And that's why we did the boot camp as well. So, like I said, clarity, and your evidence of clarity is stringed, your ability to string stories effortlessly. That I am clear and I cannot articulate it. It's not clarity. Most people will just tell you, "Oh, clarity, clarity, clarity." Just everywhere you enter, people are saying clarity, 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 clarity of purpose. But any clarity that you cannot converse, like you cannot hold strong conversations about, because I told you guys, everybody is stopping at no, which is what a lot of people describe clarity on. They just talk about the know part, the knowledge aspect. Like, oh, because now you know the things that you're supposed to do, your own why, and then maybe a few posts you can talk about it, and people are just say that's where it stops. But for trust to build, right, you need to have to say your stories effortlessly. Like find ways to turn, like for the people who came to the Blossoms Bootcamp, you think that, oh, that's all about monetization. And I thought for how many hours? I think my session was almost 2 hours. Yes, I think so. And then I told you I've had sessions 5 hours and all that. You think that you come back and it's the same thing you're going to hear. Lori raw. So in Yoruba it means that's a lie. I hope I got it right. So it means that no, it's not going to be. So it means that you need to sit down. If you say you're clear, you go prove them. And if you say you have to prove it, then you should be seen holding conversations effortlessly. Whether in your post, like I told you guys, the disadvantage of LinkedIn is that some people are keypad warriors, so you don't even know that you're not building yourself for world stage because you think you post and 500 people are reacting to it. All of a sudden, you are now a top creator. You don't even know where you came. So I told you clarity that cannot be stringed as stories effortlessly at any time. T. It's not yet clarity, because the truth is, the more you tell your stories, the more you refine them. I get light bulb moments every single time I think of my stories. Then, of course, once you have achieved clarity, which is the first, I think that's the first two chapters in the book, you are going to start talking about how to release your content. The content is another superpower. And by content, content on your posts, and then also taking it to the gate. We are Phoenix gates. We're not the ones that are just there saying magnetic pressure and let people enter our DM. But guess what? A lot of people are saying, oh, attracting opportunities, da, 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 da. But you know that on LinkedIn, if you have a very poor reach and you have a very good habit of reaching out in DMs, you're going to be improving your post impressions. Because every time you talk with people in DM, LinkedIn makes an effort to show your content to them. So if I finish chatting with you in DM, right? The next person I'm likely going to see, the next post I'm likely going to see is your post. That's how LinkedIn did it. So whether you engage from, what's the word? From comment section to comment section or from DM to DM, whatever you do, make sure that you're not sitting down. You don't have reach, you don't have skills. You're sitting down and you're hearing somebody say magnetic presence and you're following them. And you, when there's not, you've not even sat down to hone your value. Your magnet is still in Sokoto. They are still melting it to see how we can help your life. Even the angels are surprised about the magnets and how you're claiming that that's what you want to do. Okay, so courses, coaching, no problem. We'll do all this. I think it can be what we can see that we're already getting to the crux of the matter. Wherever we stop in the camp, I didn't even plan to stay more than an hour today, but I'm glad I was able to stretch. I just wanted us to get the bedrock. Tomorrow we'll do likely 1 hour strictly, so that all the people who want to follow us to our what's the word, the boot camp and to the book club, you're all welcome. I think those are the people I will certify just to prove that I honor exchange, right? When people do things for you, make sure that you give them an opportunity for an exchange with you. And that is what is my goal as well here. So thank you so much everyone for listening to me to this point. If we have questions, just type the questions. I'll come back much more later in night. I'll take the screenshots so that when we open our conversations tomorrow, I'll just answer some of your questions. We'll dive in. You can already see that my notes are ready. I have lots of notes, lots of notes, lots of notes, lots of notes. We can go deep into more conversations. So, like I said, tomorrow we'll just push to a point. But for the people who, for me, I just try to make sure that as many of us will get as much by God's grace. But like I told you, it's not even smart to be in a place of exchange and hoping that you just want to take it for free. Don't be in that place. Okay, don't be in that place. I'll be looking out for all the people who join the book club tonight as well. Thank you so much for listening as well, right? So, thank you for your time as well. I'm very honored to step out and show as much kindness as I can. So, see you all tomorrow for our final phase for the people who are not joining us. Then, for the people who are joining us, once I get a lot of people, let's say maybe I get 50 people into the book and we'll do the would if we can handle the 5 hour class, please just let me know as well in the group. So we'll just sit down, stretch it so that by the time you're entering the new year, you already know some of the things that you can do for yourself if you can afford, or when money comes in for you and you can afford the boot camp, you pay so that we will now, like I told you guys, the boot camp is a 12 months mentorship. So every month we'll meet even after you finish your boot camp. Boot camp is um 30 days intensive. So intensive, voice notes in, look out for you. But like I said, if you're lazy, I can't help you. I can't help you. My spirit cannot even gel with you. Like if I tell you to do something and you don't do, most of the people I call privately are the people who are showing the muscle, who are doing the work, right? But if you're a lazy person, you can't, my spirit cannot gel with you. I don't know it. You just, I can't help it because I'm giving up a lot and I cannot work with somebody who rubbishes what I give. Okay. So I'm hoping to see all of us in the boot camp, all of us, right? Make that sacrifice. Even if you don't probably cannot afford everything, just reach out to the managers and say something. But if you can afford and you want to play sense, you are already, that's how money is far from you. See, to be broke is not hard. You are eating your seed. That's all. It's not a big deal. You're eating your seed. Okay. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Okay. Mama, no problem. I will do that once we're done with the what's the word? Once we're done with the book club meeting, once we schedule and we finish that, I'll send it to everyone, only the people in the book club, so that I want to precipitate exchange from all of you. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. I love you. So I'm going to end the live in 3, 2, 1. Please make sure you type your questions in the comment section so that when I wake up in early hours of the morning, I want to go through the questions and screenshot them. It can even affect the notes. I always have pre notes, but I also like tailored classes. Ask all the people who have been in my bootcamp. I can even throw away my own systemic, like, so every bootcamp I have curated questions. I have curated what's the name now? Um I curate slides again fresh from their problems. So if you notice, this is not ChatGPT or Gamma slides. No, you will sweat. If you want to stand out, you will sweat. Don't be doing easy. I know that the world is wired towards ease, and people are just choosing the easy route. The people who still stand out are the people who make their brain to sweat. So if you want to be doing easy route, continue. So if that person who wants to host live on the 20th, Oscar, and your mind is that you just go and type some one or two in ChatGPT and you just bring it as one and you just flood everywhere. You just be reading from the slide. Continue. This is me getting silly now. But then thank you so much everybody for coming. I will say good night everyone from my end. I'm sure it's good morning, good evening for some of you as well. And it was such a beautiful time having with these conversations with you all. Um Professor Rosanna, you can even check for those people on LinkedIn already. Just check my future session. My first, the first thing on my future session is the book. Then I also want to say concerning the book, what normally happens is this: when you click to come into to get the book, you just wait when it's counting down. Wait, because it's trying to precipitate the book specific for you. So don't just because you see the WhatsApp link, you just leave it and follow the WhatsApp link. No, just wait. You see that countdown, wait, collect your book, then you go to the WhatsApp. So the book is already ready for you, but you have to wait. Once you've clicked your purchase and you've paid, just wait. Right? If maybe something happened to your network and maybe you were logged off and you're looking for the book, another thing you're going to do is just register your with the same email you used, maybe the same email you had attached to your payment, whatever, with on seller, then check on your purchases. You see the book lying down. So everybody gets the book immediately so that you can start reading immediately. So you can put yourself on the edge as well. Okay, like the book club is 5,000 naira. Then the boot camp is 25 for the lowest tier. We have the tier for 150. We have the tier for 50, depending on how you want to work with me. Yes, we have different tiers. All of them are on my feature session on LinkedIn. You can click the first one, then the second one, then the third one, like that, like that. so that we can take our 2026 as well. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Let's make more noise about this scam, because like I said, the reason why I step out is that there's something in me that is still social, that just wants to help people out. But I still know that when people don't pay for things, they are not serious, and there's nothing, it's human being, you cannot help them. But time to time I try to step out of my way to reduce the barrier, so I can help as many people that I can, then help them also make right decision, which is what I'm also hoping for all of us. Thank you so much, everyone. I love you so much from my end of the world. So I'm going to be ending the live in 3, 2, and 1. Good night. I think my outro video will.
Legend tells of the phoenix, a mythical bird that burns. It symbolizes renewal, strength, and transformation. 1 year ago, Phoenix Gate Group was born with that same fiery spirit to inspire, connect, and empower professionals across the globe. And what a journey it's been. Under the visionary leadership of Dr. Vivian Magnus, our founder and lead coach, we didn't just take flight, we soared, we stumbled, we built, we believed. And today, through tears and triumph, we celebrate 1 year of relentless impact, meaningful milestones, and unimaginable transformation. From humble beginnings, Zoom links, voice notes, midnight strategy calls, we've grown into a powerhouse community with nearly 1,000 members strong. In just 12 months, we have reached over 40,000 professionals across the US, UK, Ghana, Nigeria, Uganda, and Kenya. Nearly 1,000 attendees joined us weekly on LinkedIn, and the world took notice. This year, Phoenix Gate was honored with the Social Impact Award of the Year and named the Most Impactful Community of the Year. Those trophies, they carry the fingerprints of every volunteer, every coach, every community member who chose to rise with us. But our story goes beyond resumes and recognition. Beyond professional development, Phoenix Gate has walked into the sacred space of business strategy with international and non-governmental organizations. We've led masterclasses, outreaches, boot camps, and visibility challenges that didn't just teach, they healed. And through it all, Dr. Magnus, our business development coach, stood at the center. A quiet force, a lighthouse in the storm. So now we ask you, are you struggling with your line visibility? Do you ever feel unseen while secretly dreaming of becoming a commanding influence, a recognized thought leader? Are you in that place between faith and fear, waiting for your breakthrough? At Phoenix Gate, we've already reached 40,000 professionals and business leaders worldwide. But this is not about numbers. It's about the transformation behind every name. We train you, we champion you, we give you a platform. And when you stand to speak, we make sure the world listens. As we mark this 1 year journey, we do it with full hearts. Gratitude overflows for our members, our partners, and every soul that carried us when we were too weary to walk. Phoenix Gate Group is not just a network. It is a living, breathing, purpose-driven community. It is hope. It is healing. It is home. And still, this is only the beginning. Here's to a future brighter than flames. We rise together.